get reminded when we're on.
Does anybody have the link and they can post on Facebook and they can share?
We're
Not
on.
everybody
Just so
does
you know.
the Google alarm for that.
I'm the world's worst self-promoter too, so.
Well, I mean, you don't have to, but like on the Discord.
Oh yeah, that's no problem.
It's maybe more a reminder for Greg.
Yeah. Well, here we are. Sure, people joining. This is session 8. I gave it a name. I don't know if anyone looked.
Ice baby.
Oh.
Are we gonna stop, collaborate, and listen?
I hope.
Okay,
with a brand new edition.
That is
something. Grab the hold of me tightly.
This is unnecessary.
Yes.
Oh, it's absolutely necessary. You can't just say ice baby and then not go.
Why am I the only
whole
adult in
thing.
this chat?
This is unnecessary is also one of the alternate titles for this campaign. So
Let's see. Wait, where's the link? How do I find the link?
This, what was it, cartoon, and one of the kids would be like, "Is this necessary?" And
well, okay. So to recap last time,
Oh, there it is.
we're live.
we've been live for a little bit.
Yeah, that's recorded for posterity.
That's right. The Ice Baby thing, the
Right. I'm glad
promotion, all of
that's
that.
there.
And since I haven't spent any time editing videos or anything either, so the stuff that's out on YouTube, I mean, who knows what'll end up there? And people will be like, "Let's start watching this," and then they'll be like, "What?"
Wow, look at all these dorky nerds doing awesome stuff. Who would wanna watch that at work in their spare time?
Awesome.
Right. Crap.
So that's it. But so to recap last session, not a lot happened. Basically, just you ran into some hobbits. Willa did a deal with the devil, and we're here. Right? That was
What?
You did.
well. I have some good news and I have some bad news. First off, we don't have any battles to do right before the session starts.
Right before.
It's a new era of peace.
Well, no, it's because the battle might happen during the session. So there is an army on its way. We do have a whole thing arriving on Fornost, and we might have to make some rolls, but that's not till later. So nothing to do right at the moment. But later on, Kelly and you might have to roll the fate of the Arthedain army against evil wraiths.
Great. No pressure, guys. This is gonna be great. Totally great.
Man, I love being from Mirkwood. This is great. Never have to roll anything.
I'm sure that'll hold up over time.
Yeah,
Your time will come. Your time will come.
Guaranteed to not have to roll things with who my king is.
I believe the title of part 2 of the campaign is, "Oh, I guess we're going to have to go to Mirkwood."
Come on, give me at least 2 more sessions where we don't have
Am I going to have to write a will?
I feel like
Yes.
Willie.
Like-
Willie's will.
Shit.
Is that the will id and the will ego that make up the parts of...
Parts of the mind.
Oh God, guys.
Yeah, when he
why?
splits into 2, again, because we've already had some of that, right, then we can call one of them the will id and one of them the will ego.
Well, ego.
I'm going to have to write it. I'm going to do it.
Again, nerd jokes.
Real
Well,
bad.
So we should do some news from afar, the things that have gone on before we get too deep into this mess that's called Fornost. Obviously we already talked about how the Ice King is coming with the wraiths to descend upon Fornost after winning the battles in the north. To be fair, it wasn't really a hugely decisive battle, but the armies weren't really able to stand up against the wraiths themselves. If it had just been the normal army of Angmar, it'd be a whole other story, but we've got some wraiths coming, and we'll see. Now, Arthedain's not horribly worried in a lot of ways, because Fornost is a huge fortress, and they have a lot of good troops here. The Palace Guard is one of the highest, most trained, best equipped units in all of Middle-earth, so they're feeling good about that. If it wasn't for the fact that there was some Nazgul and wraiths and the like. Other things going on is that, you'd heard some rumor that, Durin's axe is missing from Moria. Not sure what's up with that. In fact, people haven't heard a lot from Moria in the last month or so. So that's kind of strange news.
Especially since it was fine when we left.
Yeah, yeah. We were there not long ago.
I'm sure.
Story
it's
of
fine.
our
We'll go back and
lives.
check on it.
We were there.
Something.
It's fine.
That's what happens when you bring elves into a dwarven kingdom. It then collapses immediately after. It's great.
Yeah, as soon as they let one elf in.
They just keep waltzing in.
Kitty.
So they will have to deal with that. We also have heard rumors that there might actually be peace on the Eastern Plains with those horse people, but I think that's way premature to say that. So we'll see how that's working out. But other than that, it's mostly, you're right in the middle. It's not as much news from afar as news from down the street, as that's where things are happening. So, although there is some rumor that the King of Gondor has returned, but there's no formal announcement yet either. So that's kind of nice. It'd be nice to have a king back there.
Yeah.
Okay. We left the party as we were walking into Fornost. You had come in with the heir, Arvigil, and the Lady Belial, who had done that dark ritual we had talked about. Willid, you're feeling the effects of being slightly in the Wraith world as well as in the normal world right now?
Yikes.
That's the official D&D term for that. You have yikes.
Yep.
In case of the yikes.
That's probably not a good thing, but
No.
we got this.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it. So everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, you guys rolled.
Confidence, boys. Confidence.
You rolled very good on your arrival roll, so you're all feeling as positive as you can about the north. It is November. The weather is cold. As you can see, that's our theme for this session: cold. You get into the city. Arvigil and Belial want to take you right towards the castle and the keep, and get you set up there as they await news from the front.
We need to get that book.
What do we do?
So for just scene setting, let's assume you've arrived at the palace, but it was late, so you don't run into anyone right away, and you're basically given some quarters. But Arvigil has stuff to do right away, but Belial comes back and says that she'll be back in an hour to discuss stuff with you. But then you are left on your own in the palace. I mean, other than there are guards, and they do seem to be at least watchful of you.
When she gets back, we need to take that book.
How do you plan on doing so?
Perhaps Willard is really good at taking stuff. Maybe we can have him help us.
Isn't that what got him into trouble in the first place?
Yes, but he's a lot better now, and I trusted our friend.
And to be fair to him, he was told to take the book. He did not simply take the book.
Are we telling him to take the book? Again?
I mean,
we are asking him for his help. It gives him a choice. He doesn't have to if he doesn't want to.
But why? What are you going to do with it?
As of this moment, I don't know, but I do know and I do sense that it is corrupting it's corrupting Belial. And that could be problematic, especially if she's on the field, or more importantly, it's killing who she is and turning it into something twisted and dark.
Greg, I saw the book while in my current half-wraith state, right? Did it look weird?
Yes. I did not look any different in your Wraith World state.
Willard, I don't know if you had a chance to study the book when you initially had it before, but it has very, very old Elvish as well as Black speech in it, and it is the Black speech that concerns me. Admittedly, I should have been more forthright with you before we did the ritual, and that is my failing, and I apologize for that. You now bear the burden of them.
I knew that it had Black speech in it, but I didn't recognize the other language. Other than recognizing that it had Black speech, that's all I noticed. That's all I had time for.
It's Elven from the First Age. It is very old. I'm concerned that the ritual that she chose was mostly Black speech, which is, as you know, a corrupted version of what we have. And I'm worried what it will do to you in the long term, even if the short term has been helpful, in that you no longer try and kill people in your sleep, which is nice.
I don't think it was the correct way of doing it either.
Perhaps. But we didn't give you a choice, and that's the part that I regret.
Listen, the last time I went and did something with this book, it led to people dying.
If you don't do anything, people are going to die too.
That's what they said the first time.
It is what they always say.
My parents. You guys are just acting like it was my parents that told me to do this, that entrusted me with this.
Perhaps it would be best for you to tell us the full story from the beginning, in detail.
It was. Haven't I already? It was years ago now. It was evening. My parents had just seen their last customer of the day, somebody whose grandmother was sick, feeling a little under the weather, you know. And then the door burst open, and in came these really big people, all of them big. But they had been directed to my parents' home by one of the townsfolk, one of our good hobbit neighbors, and my parents were helping. They were wounded. My parents were helping them, and there was an elf with them, and it was nuts. And I didn't know what to do, except my parents. They told me, and I just went about my normal duties, and we patched up their wounded friend, and there was this big discussion about how now we were in danger, and they had accidentally brought my family into this, and so we had to pack up our stuff and go with them. And then it was a long, long time of just going around with these people and helping them, and they were heroes, just like you guys. And then they gave me the book because they said they had all been touched or something, and that the shadow could see them. But I wasn't touched, so I had to take the book to the thing and close it down, and that would like put it in a prison or something. I thought, kind of like the box. I don't know.
And they saw fit to take him out of this.
I don't know where it came from. They found it.
Yeah, but they found it again after you put it in that box. Is that my understanding? You were successful in what you did, your endeavor.
That's what it seems like, but something bad happened.
Do you think you should go talk to them about what happened?
Yeah, probably should, but they seem to kind of know what happened.
Aren't you owed the right to know the rest?
Sure, I'll go. I guess I'll go talk to them about it.
Who was part of your party?
Let me look it up. Greg. Sorry. Hold, please.
Character loading screen.
I think one of the key.
Well,
Never mind. Go.
sorry, you can say something.
I was just going to mention that one of the members of that party is a name that Kellyanne will recognize, which is the second son of the king. Starts with a B.
Yeah. Adelaine
And
is the name I have.
sure. And he was the story that Kellyanne heard is that he died in a horse accident.
Which is suspicious to me. The elf's name was
Well-
Cenarion.
Do I know that name?
No, that does not ring a bell to you.
Okay.
This book needs to go and get locked up. Maybe we can put it in the box that holds those souls. Maybe that can be a good deterrent until we can put it where it needs to go.
I would prefer it be destroyed, if at all possible. And I think there is a companion with us that can do that.
Glorfindel shows up. Anyone need any tea?
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you.
Black tea, please. This is gonna be a long night.
This is a grim place up here, he says. Not a lot of sunlight and shiny people. I'm gonna go see if they're singing songs somewhere. Unless you need me.
Good luck.
Not
Maybe
at
in
the
a couple of
moment.
hours.
Yep. Thank you, Glorfindel.
Such a nice man.
Right. But he is very powerful, and if anyone was to know how to put an end to the shadow in that book, he probably does.
So, should I go try to convince them to?
There is not going to be any convincing. We've tried asking Belial to give it to us to look, and she's unwilling to even let go of it, which shows signs that the shadow has taken hold of her a lot stronger than even she realizes.
As a note, as an aside here, I currently see a black shadow all around Kellyanne. Correct?
Yes.
Right.
Curse, hello.
Yep.
Maybe we shouldn't jump to conclusions about their motivations.
About what motivations?
Why they wouldn't want to share the book with you. It
Well, no, not me.
doesn't mean that they're beholden to the shadow. It just means they
I
don't want you to see
see.
the book.
I can see shadows. I can
You must
see.
not read from the book.
I can see darkness fairly well, and it's gripping her, and it's not willing to let go. And it's coming from that book. And I'm not making assumptions. That is a statement.
Well, Kellyanne, if we're all being truthful here, it's fairly obvious you recognize her. Is she from your past?
She was my best friend. We we grew up together.
And how has she changed since last you saw her?
She's a lot darker. She used to have naught but a care in the world. She was unlike most of us. She wasn't burdened by the life up here or what it means to be part of Arthedain. And now she is someone wholly different.
A drastic change in character.
I was
this have been-
practically a different person before the plague came.
Dark events change who we are. And
Or dark items.
it is a possibility.
Both.
Perhaps before we make a concerted effort to retrieve this book, we make a concerted effort to find where the tragedy has been for Elliot. And it will likely lead us back to the book, but it will give us a better grip on how to talk to her about the book and the shadow within.
Willard, I think you should just go talk to your old friends. It doesn't have to have a goal.
It's true.
One is dead, one is an elf, and who knows where that elf is?
I don't know where any of them are. Apparently the prince died, so...
But you yourself have agreed that his death is suspicious. Perhaps one of our goals here should be finding out if he really did die the way they say that he did.
Yeah, maybe it was an accident, though. You know, could be.
Perhaps. But I find the truth is much better on wounds than what we have, which is rumor. But we're all very tired. It's been a long journey to get here, and we have much to prepare for in the coming days. Not just our own problems or this book full of shadow or a mysterious death of a good friend. We also have an entire city, an entire kingdom that is depending on our help against a force that not even we fully understand. But that being said, I think we have the skills and the knowledge to do something about it. We have the best group of people I could ever hope to have gathered against such a force of darkness. And I'm happy that you are here with me in this time. I'm going to go rest.
Need some epic music in the background.
Right.
Uplifting Gandalf music.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
So,
I'm going
Elvin.
to go get some rest, and I suggest you all do the same. I am in my room if you need me. Good night.
Well, I think we're gonna get some sparring done. I'm gonna go see if Glorfindel wants to spar with me.
That
I
sounds like
definitely
fun.
cannot sleep.
Wow.
Look, man, if you want to learn, you got to learn from the best, and that guy is definitely the best. So
That's fair.
Just how very anime of you.
I think any scene where you're sparring with Glorfindel could be an anime.
oh, you
Wanna
bet it could be.
The very best. No one
What
ever
it
was.
was.
Oh, God.
Wait, we
Okay.
went from like soaring Gandalf music of speech to anime in like a heartbeat.
That's
Oh,
what's
well.
great about RPGs.
Here we are.
RPGs.
You can do that.
Okay, so
So then my character is going to get up and I'm going to walk the halls. But I turn and look at Willard. And I was like, do you want to go on a walk? Seems like you have a lot on your mind as much as I.
Yeah, sure. And I like, already, are you still there in the room?
Yeah, I'm here.
I look at you and I just nod, and I go and follow Killian.
And
Be
now
safe.
all Reds got some alone time.
Bye.
I
well,
wonder what he's gonna do.
Gliriel is in the
Believe
room.
Where's
real.
What's that, Craig?
I just said that Gliriel is also with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
is.
you know, we go do stuff. Go for a walk, nice walk. Check
Uh-huh.
out the views.
Okay, so I have a
Friday.
lot of fun stuff
Look
to
at
do
these
here
views,
with
Gliriel.
all of you.
Yay!
Nestriel is the boring one. You're just getting some rest, right, Nestriel?
Well, yeah. Yep.
What?
I say
What?
boring, but it turns out you're like the only one that's left when Bleo comes back.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Fuck, crackerjacks.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm just sitting in my room having a moral crisis, and then the part of the subject of my moral crisis shows up. Is that
Yeah, there's a
so
knock on
okay?
the door as if like the things you think about materialize, and Bleo steps into your room.
Oh.
I see the others have had business.
Yes, they're all unwinding in their own way. What can I do for you? It's a very unexpected visit.
I was going to do my best to ensure. I know that you all have worries about what this is, that we have stepped into the darkness and that we will not step back out. Um, and I would to do my best to allay those fears. But I
Oh.
don't think I do not know how well you will are all willing to listen. The you you are one knowledgeable in the shadow, correct?
Yes, I consider myself well versed for the most part.
It is one such as yourself, an elf that learned about the darkness and learned about the shadow and how to fight it, that came to us um, in the first place. And his what he has brought and what he has done has mostly brought death to us, not survival. But now we see the darkness marching from the north, and the final piece, the final weapon that he wished us to forge. We will now see whether it works or not. See whether it was all worth it.
This weapon is Willard.
Ah, yes, not our first choice. It was supposed to be that we would create a grand warrior who could face the race on their own footing. Um,
I think Willard is still a very good choice for that. He has proven hardy and resilient and remains a sense of inspires courage in his companions through his actions and words. I think he's as good a warrior as we could hope for to possess such a dark magic thrust upon him. Though I understand that perhaps you wanted someone more like Gundyr or Allred, someone versed in bloodbath and letting.
that was certainly the plan, for that to be a warrior that could stand against the Witch King himself. Something that we have not had. All who have faced the Witch King have failed. But not only have you brought that, you've also brought an elf lord of the likes we have not seen in this land since the Second Age. So we will see. I'm grateful for your return and your companions.
That's very good to hear. I was mildly concerned that you were only happy to have your living weapon back, and that is just as concerning a mentality as relying upon a book of dark and old magics.
Well,
I want to understand why you've chosen to use this book. Can you tell me more about it and your journey to find it?
excuse me.
She's like, oh, Dad.
It has not been my journey as much as those that brought it to our hands, for this lore master we talked about had seen it from the Second Age and had found a place where it was hidden in the depths of Eriador and returned it to us. So I cannot speak too much of that. I am, in fact, the second. We might say we are the second people to deal with it. For the first ones are the ones that Willard knows, and they are no longer with us.
If I may, how did you come to possess the book? We were under the impression that it had been sealed away by Willard and his party.
Arvagil wanted to know all that had happened to his brother, and so he and I retraced those steps, and it took some time to both find it and to find out how to break the prison that had sealed it.
I can understand that. A thirst for knowledge can often get people like us into trouble.
Yeah, I think I'm going to end that conversation right there with the trouble comment, and we're going to go to Willard and Kellyanne, who are going to go on a walk.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm taking Willard around the keep, And then I find like a alcove with a bench, and I sit down, and I motion for him to sit next to me.
Can't hear you, Casey.
That's good. I sit. Yeah. Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
How are you doing? You seem different.
I feel different. I definitely feel different. There's I can see things. I suppose I feel a little bit different. There's definitely something going on.
Does it feel like somebody else is with you, or are you fully by yourself?
No voices or anything. No. I feel like I'm, mostly by myself. I think in here. Yeah.
What they did to you has made you what they think is their only weapon to defeat what is to come here. You are not beholden to them. You can go at any time you want. Do you understand the full spectrum of what has been done to you and what is expected of you? Furthermore, have you ever been in battle?
Well, mostly just there's some few fights that I was in the background. I've always just ever been in the background, so no, I guess not.
Battles are totally different than just skirmishes. There are these horrible things, and if there's one person that I don't want to see changed by this and who hasn't been touched by these battles between you and Esriel, I think it would be best for you to leave.
But
They expect you to die out there.
Where would I go?
Find your family. Do something that's far better than dying out in that cold damn field.
That's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Is just want to find my family and go home.
Then it's best you leave as soon as you can.
I think this has something to do with where they went.
Finding answers and fighting in what is going to be a bloodbath are two separate things. Stay here, find your answers, don't join the battle, and leave as soon as you can. I'm saying this as a friend. I'm not saying because you're not capable. So don't take it that way.
I'm just trying to find my family, and people died because of what happened, and everybody else is allowed to be brave, but I guess
There's a vast difference between bravery and stupidity. You want to find your family, you need to be alive for it. Family is a very important thing. And if there's nothing else in this world, family is what gets you through everything. You should not die here.
Killian, as
I'm really trying not to die. It'd be good to avoid that sort of thing. I don't generally recommend it. I always used to say dying's bad for your health.
Killian, as you are talking with Willett on the bench sitting here, you can look down and you actually see um, your father uh, getting off a horse and getting into heading into the keep. First time you've seen him in a long time.
I point him out. That's my dad. And he doesn't know he has a daughter. He will never remember me. But damn right, I will do whatever I can to make sure that if not him, then the rest of the family will survive. My fight is here for them. Your fight is somewhere else. There's no use in dying here when your family is not here to die for.
My family might already be dead.
You don't know that.
There are more than 1,000 hobbits coming this way right now.
Are you going to check every single one of them, make sure that they're not your mom or dad?
All of us. Everybody's life is on the line. I don't know how I fit into this, but all of a sudden I'm here. And I'm not. I don't want to die. I'm not trying to die. All I can do is my best. And just because I'm a hobbit doesn't mean I can't make promises and hold to honor and stuff. I could do that.
I'm not saying you're not capable of it. I'm just saying you're capable of a lot more than what I can ever hope to achieve. Sometimes good people should not die in battles like this. Not when there's so much more you could do.
I'm not going to challenge this Ice King guy to a...
You don't understand.
duel.
They will leave you there, expecting you to do all these things. You've never fought against him. I've seen so much that you can never understand. Never. And I don't want you to. I face down horrors, the likes of which no one could ever speak of again. You the things you see, the things I've done. And you should never. No one should ever. You deserve so much more. And if you do want to die on that battle, then so be it. But I'm not going to see you die. And I walk off.
I said I don't want to die.
Okay.
Tensions are a little high, team.
Tensions are a little high. Allred, your walk with Gliriel is a little bit less tense than this one.
Yeah, I sure hope so.
You kind of walk up on the top of the ramparts and look off. It is cold, but for the moment, the sky is clear, and night has come, and the stars are out. As the two of you stand up there, and she looks out at the north and the dark, and at you, and she says, "We of the elder folk, we are bound by fate. You know that.
Yes.
So as I stand here, and I look upon you and upon the north and upon the stars of Elbereth, I know that it is fate that has put me here. That for some reason my bow is needed here. That for some reason I stand by your side and not by my kin's.
It must be terribly hard for you.
Hard. Different. It is. It is not. As I have seen thousands of years, the days roll by one, and all seem like the same iteration of the same day. But that has not been the case lately. It is different. It is if a change in the fates and a change in the world. I still struggle bits with your language, but I would say I am glad to be here.
I've been very glad that you're here with me. It's made this journey far more bearable.
So we get an image of like the stars and the backlit between the two of you, and as you're doing that, she leans in, and there is a kiss between the race of man and the race of elves that is seen for the first time in the north since before the Third Age. And with that, as you stand there, you hear a horn, a loud, like hunting horn of some sort, and you look out and you see a disturbance riding into Fornost as a group on horses rides at full breakneck speed towards the keep. And I'm going to cut to Gundyr, even though the surprise of the horses is already out. Gundyr, you
Ah, yes.
are traveling to, are sparring with Glorfindel.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a couple d20 rolls? You guys go down to like kind of the the inner keep area,
Mm.
right inside the wall, and
Right. All right. Yeah. Let's do this. I want to see what he's got. He's got some crazy moves that I've never seen in my life, and I'm probably not skilled enough to attempt. But that's going to be a 25 for my first one.
sounds good.
Followed by 19. Not super good, but last one is going to be last one's going to be a 26.
Okay, so uh, you're obviously way more into this than Glorfindel is. He's kind of like,
Right.
oh, human, I guess we'll do some sparring. And he rolls a couple of twos in a row.
Wow.
Aw.
And
Aw,
you're like,
Greg.
I'm doing really good, right? Like,
Yeah.
here it is. And you're not sure, but maybe he's just humoring you a little bit, doing the thing. Then we get around to right near the end. He kind of, I've got this great idea. You've got your 26. You're like, I've got this great move. But then he kind of like goes, oh yeah, I've seen that before. Does like some spectacular counter, uh, and puts his long, glowing, elvish sword, like right to your neck, kind of thing, as the counter. And you're like,
Not
oh,
really left-handed.
I thought I'd been doing so good.
That, that was so fast. Oh my God.
As he finishes with a much better roll.
This is exactly what I wanted.
And as you're doing that, that's when like the keep door bursts open and like a whole bunch of people with horses come storming in, and it's really clear right away that they're carrying somebody. Like they've got a wounded person in a travois, and they're riding in, and they just kind of burst right past you. But you've seen enough. You see enough of Arthedain. You're going to guess that whoever they're carrying is someone really important. Lots of like the royal symbol stuff around.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'll stop one of the guards and ask him what happened.
He looks at you and says, sorry, I can't." And then he looks at Glorfindel and goes,
Well, maybe I can.
Captain, he like goes and grabs like a superior, and they like grab the two of you and drag you along behind the trail of horses.
Nice.
You two seem
all right.
important.
Well,
Glorfin-
one of you seems important, and the other one is here. So maybe he's important too. We'll see.
3 cheers for being present.
Alred, you totally saw this as well. I don't know if you were going to head that direction.
Oh yeah, I'll rush that way with Gliriel.
Nesriel, the reason your conversation actually ends is because someone comes to get Belial
Oh.
and says that she's needed right away. Come, and then she takes off. They don't like say anything to you, so you have the opportunity to follow them if you want. They don't seem to be. I mean, or you can stay there.
I stay here. I don't know that there's a medical emergency happening, even though this is totally my thing. It's fine. Hopefully somebody will come and get me.
Willard, you were on the walls as well, so you would see that if you're paying attention. But
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Yeah, kind of.
I mean, I'm not sure whether you do anything about it, but you at least saw them come in. Kellyanne, you might be so broody right now that I'm not. You're probably in some dark hall.
Broody. I mean, you said hordes were sounding, right? I could have heard that.
You would have heard
maybe.
the horn, yeah, and it would have been like a war horn or a warn, kind of like the sort of horn that the royal group would have.
Okay. I know where to go, so I think I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay. So the short answer, though, is that they don't really let you or Allred into the scene, but it's pretty. You both get there enough time to see who is clearly the king of Arthedain, Argileb, is like on a travois and his face looks pale. And then they
I'm going
bring
to
him
rush
into
away.
Oh shit!
I'm going to go find Nestriel.
Good idea.
Oh, thank you, Allred.
Gundir, you got swept in with the Glorfindel crew, and
Yep.
they go immediately to like the obviously the medical ward and the doctors, and they're in there, and you can overhear in the distance some rush whispered that Argileb fought the Dark Ice King and has been wounded, kind of thing.
Oh, Jesus. That's... Wow. Damn.
Sounds very not good.
Both Kelly and Willard, Gundir, you see Arthaleg and Belial show up as not too long after and rush into the room.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the thing, but Glorfindel, being Glorfindel, as they're like doing the thing, he steps up as well and takes a look with the head physician at him. And Gundir, you can definitely hear him as he says to the man, "Oh, look here, this is not good. This looks like the black breath of the Nazgul, and oh, I can see it here, a foul wound, as if the king had been stabbed by one of their Morgul blades."
Mm.
That's extra not good.
Yep.
Gundir, you have no real idea what all that means, except for it sounds really bad.
Yeah, it sounds real bad, and I'm just like, damn, that sucks.
So, Allred, you went to get Nestriel, is that correct?
Yeah, I'll run over there and frantically knock on her door.
Oh, another nighttime visitor? What can I do for you, Allred?
Nestriel, the king returned wounded.
You
They may
what?
need your help at the keep.
Take me. Exactly.
The sound effects were great there. Worked out.
Grab all of my herbs and poultices and shit before we leave the room.
I know not what the wound was, but it seemed very serious.
Nestriel grabs her 11 herbs and spices.
Basically. You must spice the wounds correctly to treat them well.
Hmm.
So, Nestriel, I assume you make some comment that when you get there that you're like a physician and can help with these sorts of things.
I'm an elven healer that's knowledgeable in shadow. You should let me through.
Luckily
me.
for you, Arvigil and Belial are there, and they get you in because they understand. And so, when you get in the room, Gundir's in there. Glorfindel is off to the side, like having a conversation with the clearly head physician. They've got a couple other people just like doing basic wound care and poultices type stuff on the king. Uh,
Yeah.
there's still a bunch of guards
Nestor,
around.
he's been stabbed by what was it, a Morgul something?
A Morgul blade.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real
Hmm.
bad.
What do I know about Morgul blades? I did do a lot of ring wraith-based research before coming here.
That's right. You got your critical success on Know Things About Ring Wraiths, which is going to be pretty useful for a while. At
Yay!
least this session, I should say. I mean, until your character dies, right? Then it's less useful.
Yeah. Then we become useful in other ways.
Um, I read that to just be I become an undead, but that's
Maybe.
but that's some other group. This isn't one of those groups where I'm just going to kill you all and then keep you going as wraiths or something. Really, I'm not doing that.
Are you sure, though?
I mean, if
Could
the
be
opportunity
fun.
presents itself. But we'll see. For now, you definitely get the impression you had heard some rumors of these Morgul blades, and that they are some of the darkest art of Sauron, where they will one wound from them can destroy a person and bring them under the control of the wraiths in the world of the dead.
Wow. That seems bad for a king to do that. Glances back at history. It's fine. Okay, do I know how to treat them at all?
The treatment that you didn't hear a lot, so you don't have a lot, is something along the lines of ensuring that the blade meets the sunlight is the only thing that will stop it. So you're guessing sunlight would be good, but
It's lovely and
not a
vague.
lot of other things. I mean, in general, there isn't a lot of evidence of people surviving the wounds. Let's just say.
All right.
Really?
Give me a second and then come back to me.
Okay, Gundar, you're in the room. Allred, you're probably you could have snuck in with Nestril if you wanted. Kellyan and Willett are kind of outside the room, hanging out at the moment. I suspect you two aren't hanging out next to each other, Willett, Kellyan.
I'll stay outside.
I think I'm gonna go find Kellyan's dad. I meant that. I'm gonna go do that.
Okay,
Oh God.
you know what he looks like.
Do it.
This is happening.
Oh God.
Well, now that Nestriel's here to do the healing thing, I think I'll go back to training out in the yard because there's not much I can do here.
Willard, you find the man that Kellyan pointed to you as her father. He is currently like in a mess hall or something, getting late night food after having come in. He's talking with a couple of other nobles at the moment, but you see him.
Your noble tallness, sir.
Yes, you're one of those Shire folk.
Yes, my people ever share a debt of gratitude to yours. Marco Fallowhide of the Hobbits sent me as a scout to try and figure out what I could for him, or at least send help send men to make contact with them. But there are also Hobbit scouts who haven't been heard from in this area, and I don't really know the first thing about finding them, so just thought I'd let someone important know.
Oh. I have just recently heard some more news that it looks like your Shire folk have done a good job of stealing a bunch of supplies from Angmar.
Hmm.
I guess that would be getting a bunch of food. Well, it's better that you eat it than them, I suppose.
I can agree with that, sir. Sir, if you don't mind me asking, what's your noble name?
I am Telchrist Emayaran.
Yaron? Am I pronouncing that right? Emayaron?
Emayaran, yes.
Great.
It's one of those streaming things I need to learn, right? That I always need to pronounce my NPCs' names out loud a couple of times before I try them here. But anyways,
Emayaron.
Emayaran. Emayaran.
Something.
Yeah.
Close enough. Oh, what a great name. Do you just a question? I curious. Do you have any children? I haven't had any of my own, but I'm thinking about, a legacy in times like these. Do you have any children yourself?
Yes, I have a son and a daughter.
Are they here? How old are they?
My son is here. He fights alongside the Royal Guard. My daughter is not here. She is at home. Why do you ask?
What are their names? If I see them around.
Okay, Kelly, and you're gonna have to give me some names.
All right, I have Echion or Esion, Ecyon,
Okay, Ekion. For
and
the
then
son.
the girl is Faniel or Faniel, F-A with an accent over it.
Faniel.
Faniel.
Those are the names he gives.
Do you know anyone by the name of Kellyan?
No, it does not ring a bell.
No ancestors or.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that perhaps there has been a Kellyan here at some point, but not one that I know well.
Well, I think it's a grand name. You should think about naming one of your other children, Kellyan. All right, walk off.
Okay. So back to Nestriel.
Okay, I have an idea. It's not a very good idea, but it's the only thing I can come up with without trying to fog things somehow. So I am super good at not magic. I wish I was. I'm super good at medicine, and I'm really, really good at shadow lore. Can I combine my hagsweed as well as some water lily? Hagsweed is the get out of me shadow point shenanigans, and water lily allows you to take a long rest while taking a short rest, so it has very good revitalizing properties. And then I would like our good buddy Paladin of Light, Glorfindel, to come over and lend me his shiny light powers, and then push that whole thing into the knife wound, and at least slow down the change, if not get rid of it entirely. My hope is to get rid of it entirely, but plants only do so much.
Yeah, as Glorfindel's...
Use inspiration.
I'd have plenty of it, so that.
Glorfindel comes over, here's your plan. seems very approval of it. He says, though, that this is a sort of wound that even the skills of the great Master Elrond would be tested upon. It is unfortunate that we are so far from the house.
Well, I suppose instead of Elrond, you'll have me, and we'll test my skills. Say with determination as I just push up my sleeves and tie a bandana over my head so I look like the classic healer.
Dun,
Okay, you
dun,
get a
dun,
you get a
dun.
bonus for the bandana. It's plus. Let me look.
Woo!
0.
Oh,
Boo.
I'm pretty happy with it. Okay,
I'm just going to say it's a natural representation of your inspiration.
that's fair. I'll take that. Okay, do you want medicine or something else?
I totally want medicine.
Okay. It's okay. I'm really, really good at that. All right. Could have rolled significantly worse. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I can do head math. Don't even worry about it. That's actually really good. It's 26. Fight me. Hopefully that's
Glorfindel
good
totally
enough.
does, and it's no, never mind.
Oh no! All right, I'll roll a new character.
It's okay. You cannot survive 1 round against Glorfindel, but that's beside
Nope.
the point. Um,
And I'm willing to put all of my healer's hands charges into this.
okay. It takes a while, and you're getting some of the like glowy stuff from Glorfindel as well. The whole lot. You're basically in there all night, kind of working through it, doing the thing. Um, the physicians stay in there with you. Gundyr, do you stay all night, or do you head to bed?
I pretty much I spar until I get too tired and then I pass out.
So, as morning dawns and the sun comes out, you think that you have done all that you can with this wound, and time will tell. Although you think within a day you will know the outcome, or at least to some degree. Once the sun, they do recommend that they like put him in someplace where there's a window where the sun can come in, and all of that is part of the medicine.
Yep.
So that happens, and Nestriel is very tired. Glorfindel is also, and everyone kind of retreats till late afternoon brunch or whatever, where you get back together. Uh, if you have anything as a group you need to do.
How does everyone look?
Exhausted.
I grab some like porridge and fruits and stuff, and I put it in front of like Nesriel and Glariel, and because Glariel was there, right? Or no, she wasn't.
She's here.
Real?
Yeah. So I give everybody like porridge and stuff, and like some fruits and whatever I can find. Nice opposite of Willard, or not opposite, but like he's at one end, I'm at the other.
I'll sit across from Willard.
I don't purposefully avoid Kellyanne, but I don't approach her either.
This seems noticeable.
Well, before you guys can get into any like conversation about why things might be the way they are, Arvigil and Belial arrive at your table. I assume you've all heard
Good
the news
morning.
of my father,
I have not yet.
that he is wounded and here
Oh.
by the Nazgul.
That yes, yes, I have.
Nestriel's still tired.
So for now, while he lays there and until he is healed, it is my army to command, and we are looking out at the army of the Witch King that will be here within the week.
What is
We
your
will-
plan?
We will wait for it, for within these walls of Fornost, the army cannot hope to assail without supernatural means. But we
But
must make a decision about whether we try and thwart the supernatural darkness of the Wraith before they arrive or while they are here.
Before, you put your citizens at risk if you wait until they get to the doorstep.
But how do we thwart the Wraith and the Ring Wraith and his army without an army of our own behind us? Perhaps a siege is the best option.
Did
Or
you
what
have
about
a
the
plan
people?
in mind?
Me? No.
No.
I haven't had a chance to think of much beyond saving the king's life, but I will put thought into it when I...
No, I meant our.
Oh, yes, of course, sorry.
You need some more sleep, Nestriel.
what if we evacuate the people?
Where would they go?
South, Debris.
There's room at the Shire.
That sounds good to me.
Sounds like a good plan.
I do not think we would want to tell these people that we are weak enough that we cannot stand here in Fornost. The people of the
It's a
north
precaution.
have seen so much that it is best that they know it is strong. We must be prepared. We we could ride out with an army to meet them, or perhaps since Willid, it is that you are not of the wet form of a soldier upon a horse that strides into battle and slays the darkness in front of him, but rather of a more stealthy nature, that we might try and sneak into the camp of the Ice King and see if we can destroy him before he arrives.
So we create the distraction. He goes in by himself.
Whoa, distraction.
Yeah.
That part sounds dangerous.
Either we do this in a smaller time frame, or we let them come to us. And I mean, either way, this
Alerting them
dangerous.
to our presence at all seems folly.
It is also true that if they arrive here and their armies are breaking upon the walls of Fornost, that they will be plenty distracted for whatever Willid or the elf lord might wish to do.
That
But it will
seems
be
the
a bit
safer course.
harder to
I
get
agree
all of that.
with him. A siege is our best option for getting the... forgive me. The Ring Wraith to be distracted enough for whatever we plan to work. It does put the city at risk, but they already know that. And if the people as strong and as stubborn as you, Kellyan, choose to stay here, there's not much we can do to persuade them.
If the darkness marches upon Fornost and then is broken upon our walls, then that will go a long way to restoring the pride and morale of the North.
Exactly. If
Wait. Before, if I may,
of course, Willard.
I have some questions for the two of you. Either here or alone, I guess. Do you prefer?
Here is fine, I think.
Here's
says
great.
Galileo.
Yeah, no, I love it. Right here. Where did you get? Why? How did you get the book back? How'd that decision process go? Like, what happened?
Well, Arvigil says, I took much care to try and retrace my brother's steps. Much of it was lost, and it took me some time. Years, in fact. But what I found was the path that the elf, whatever the elf's name, Keladir? Sounds right.
Cenarian?
Cenarian had done until I eventually found him. he was near Annuminus, and he was withered and blackened, like something had run through his skin, and he was trapped, but yet in the fate of the elves, immortal, and standing there. And we learned much from him, but about where the book was and how it was trapped, and it was been trapped with the souls of those involved, for the black magic of the book is that of the dead and of the souls. And we had to unwind them, and it was not pleasant.
Do you understand what all like that book is and what it's doing to you?
We live in dark times. We either survive against the darkness or we do not.
Or you become part of that darkness?
I would propose to you a story. It is a very old tale, and I think you may recognize it very quickly. It is about a ring, forged by a very powerful elven lord, that then led to the deaths of thousands upon thousands of people, in addition to the corruption of a very pure king, that then led to the deaths of even more. There are a lot of dark times, and relying on dark things brings no one any sense of joy. I would think on the kings that have fallen from the One Ring and their histories. Oh, this porridge is great.
We have fought the Dark Lord of Carndome, the Witch King, for hundreds of years, and we have nothing to show for it but the slow decay and destruction of the North. That needs to end. If you want to end it with light and shininess, then we'll end it with that. But if we have to end it with dark and shadow, we will do that. That's Belial, by the way, not Arvigil.
Yep. Eye contact with her. Can you name me a time when fighting shadow with shadow has ended in victory? For anyone.
They've all ended in victory for the shadow.
Mm-hmm. And I can tell you, you know that I am a Mirkwood elf, yes, a wood elf. I am from southern Mirkwood, my house, well, when it was still a house and not just me. I know more than most the struggles of losing your home and your family and your people to shadow. And though I do not agree with my king's approach of doing nothing, I can't say that I agree with using shadow either. Now, I'm going to go tend to your king, who is now suffering from the shadow, and hope that I can save him. Good day. Oh, I said good day!
This is one of those things where our echo actually really helped Nestor's speech, I think.
Yeah, it was weirdly cool.
Yeah.
Sort of like the Fellowship of the Ring scene with Galadriel, right? Like, I am the dark, the queen of... Anyway.
We'll have a queen as beautiful and terrible as the ocean, or the sea, or whatever she said.
Yeah, the
It's been
echo's
a while.
working good on that.
A large body of water.
Large body of water.
I'm also going to break out that definitely not coffee that I was given by a certain lovely hobbit.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some of that.
It is that time. It sounds like things got a little tense there, but so Arvigil, with Nestor, he turns to you and says, well, you have a week to prepare, and then we will see what end we can make to this. And
Hopefully,
he and Belial
one of
take
light.
off.
Yep. Sorry I ruined the mood, guys!
Oh, come on, it's been such an
Didn't
upbeat session so far.
I know!
Yeah, it's kind of hard to bring down the room when the room is already like basement level.
Oh. I will spend the rest of the day tending to the king, as long as people let me.
I go to sit down but accidentally miss the chair on purpose and spill my food all over the place.
Yeah.
But I'm going to roll a
Willard, are
deception.
you okay?
Roll a
Roll a
deception.
deception.
Yeah.
Sorry. Uh-huh. 12.
He is
I
sneaky.
think
Well, I notice.
That might be below some of your passive perceptions, I'm just going to say.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. Well,
Are you all right, Willard?
just it happens, right?
Ah,
Things happen.
here, let me help you up. Perhaps you should go bathe.
Oh yeah. No, I'll go wash up. Aha.
Here, I think I know where the baths are. I'll go with you.
Okay, Willard,
Well,
with
I'm
his
gonna-
bathroom monitor, all red. I don't know what's up there. What's up, guys?
Is Allred giving me a bath?
No, I assume there's like a public bathhouse or something, as opposed to everyone having a private shower. I'm just walking there with you.
Oh, okay. You gonna take a bath too? Want to get naked?
That wasn't my plan, Willard. Are you all right?
Oh, just yeah, yeah, you know.
I don't know, Willard. Is there anything you want to talk about? Certainly, you have no need to, but if you do, I just want you to know I consider you a dear friend. You've helped me greatly in many ways, especially with Glerial.
Oh, I mean, you can't hit the ball if no one throws the pitch. That reference probably didn't make any sense to any of us, but
I feel like the hobbits should have something like that, just like they have like a golf analogy, right? Like you can't hit the ball if you don't swing. It's a golf thing because they invented golf.
yeah.
Although to be
Well-
fair, I don't think golf has been invented in the Shire yet. Anyways,
Cricket, yeah, it's probably cricket.
I
Or some version of
think-
cricket.
And you.
Or golf.
Anyway, I just want you to know I'm here.
Yeah.
I think you've been very brave to come this far.
I mean, it's easy to be brave when there's people like you standing in front of me.
It's easy for me to be brave when I see you can do it too.
Ah!
Lots of feels going on today.
Right in the gut.
This, whatever happened to you, it cannot be easy.
Well,
I barely understand it.
I don't know. It feels weird. I don't know. Just don't know what's going to happen. Because they're both right. They're both right. They're both right, Allred. They're both right. We shouldn't use evil to fight evil or shadow to fight shadow, but we also can't just back down.
No, we can't. And I'm not sure there's anything we can do to undo what happened to you. And if it can help us, maybe that's what we have to do. But whatever you decide, you have my sword.
Look around expectantly. Nope. Nobody's axe. Bow.
Yeah, you're at a bathhouse, so the things people hold up to join with you
Oh.
are not
Anyway.
an axe and a bow.
I guess perhaps you would like to be alone for a while. Maybe that's why you fell.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Found a nice bath. Can go a long way. So perhaps you should enjoy one. I'll clap you on the shoulder and then walk back to dinner.
I take a quick bath, and then I'm gonna go up to my room, get my stuff, and basically wait for nightfall. That's my plan. I'm gonna head out when it gets late.
Shit, what have I done?
Well, I'm excited to see.
See how that goes.
I mean, so basically, I don't have any necessary events for anyone until, the army gets here. But I suspect there are things that might happen in the interim. Obviously, Willett is intoning to this evening. Is there anything else you do this day before we get to evening? Anyone?
I want to know about the Fortress of Fornos. Can I know 3 things about it?
Ooh.
Sure. What kind of things do you want to know?
Or wait, can I know things about famous people? I want to know where, the prince / Belial where their rooms would be.
Okay, that's
Oh boy.
2 things, I think, 1 for each room.
Mhm.
Sure.
But you know that now? Absolutely.
And then if there's a secret way into it that only hobbits can find or some such thing, that would be great.
So because it's lore master secrety stuff, you definitely know of a secret passage into that area. It's kind of one of like the royal sort of escape route sort of thing that you discover based on what you've looked at. Something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, the plan is to sneak in, make my way to their rooms. I'm gonna find that goddamn book.
Okay, I wanted to give everyone else an opportunity to do stuff during the day, but I don't actually, anything crazy you doing?
I don't
This
think
is
I have anything.
this is probably mostly a Kellyan question.
Mm. Most definitely.
Your father is
okay.
in town. You might see your brother, but probably not.
I kind of inquire around, casually about how the MERNs are doing, how they're faring. Um, Otherwise, it's too painful for me to see them. It already was kind of like a knife to the gut when I saw my dad. So, um, it's not worth the pain to like directly talk to them. Just kind of distantly inquire, and I'm gonna go to the archery field mainly and take out my frustration by shooting some holes through stuff.
Okay, so in your conversation, you quickly learn that your family was one of the many families that was in the battle that just happened to the north. A lot of the noble armies were up there. Your brother was definitely in there, and you get to decide whether it's too painful to sit around and listen to someone talk about your brother's valor in combat or not.
No, I want to listen.
Okay, so you hear essentially a story about where he, like, face down close to the race themselves, and and then the dark thing came for him, and he did not waver. His sword was strong, and but yet the darkness was too much for all of us, and he helped save many who ran from the darkness, and he was the last one from the field, kind of thing.
That's my brother.
Classic.
I'm like I have like a very proud moment, because he's my brother, and I was like, yep, that just he was gonna be somebody, and he is, and I'm glad to hear that he's doing what I cannot do.
And then you shoot a lot of things really hard.
And I shoot a lot of things really hard.
Can I get this arrow to go through the target? Can I just
I can roll
break
for
my
it.
bow in half with my bare strength and arms?
Right. Get a new one. Well, their
Mhm.
practice bows and arrows don't really stand up to my
So
standards.
if I made you roll, then it would be one of the strange times where the 20 and the 1 are the same result.
Right.
Where your bow
Yeah.
breaks apart in your hands. Just for different reasons.
Right.
But anyways, you do that.
Cool.
I think that's it. I think we get tonight, and Willard gets to do his sneaky.
Hmm.
I'm writing a quick note. I can finish it later. So, yeah, I sneak off into the thing. Do you want me to roll stealth?
Yes. This will be this. Whose room are you sneaking into? Well, no, we'll give one stealth just to get to like secret entrance and all of that without being noticed. It's not a
I'll do-
difficult stealth. You're just looking at standard palace guard kind of thing.
15.
Okay, 12 is what I was going to say. So you make that, and then you get to the rooms. Now you're in the nobles' quarters where the guards are like really not into people sneaking around and sneaking into nobles' rooms and stabbing them. So there's quite a few of them around.
I'm going to use inspiration.
Absolutely. Who are you headed for, Belial or Arvagil? Because the
Belial makes more
security is
sense.
actually quite different. Arvagil is the heir and current king. The security is pretty tight in his area.
Belial.
But Belial, on the other hand, is just essentially a minor noble. So
28.
28 is a very high number. So yeah, you sneak up to Belial's room, and probably with a 28, you're probably into it. It isn't necessarily like a lock type situation here inside the castle, so you don't have to like pick a lock. But you somehow slip into the room while the guards aren't paying attention, even though they're right there, standing by the door.
Dang hobbits.
Excuse me.
In Wraith powers.
I mean, you can see really well in the dark right now, so that's a big advantage for you.
Yeah, I'm looking for the book.
Okay, you had seen her keep it in a kind of a satchel pouch thing. That is over a chair right over there. The rest of her
Is she
room
here?
She's asleep currently.
I'm going to check the satchel, but I'm suspicious.
To finish the room description, there are a lot of books around this room as a whole. She clearly reads quite a bit. And there's like a desk, there's a book open on a desk, a couple of others. None of the ones you immediately eyeball look like the one you're after, though, of course. So yeah, check the satchel. Give me a sleight of hand, we'll say. It's like
I'm going to use
pickpocketing.
inspiration. Up.
Oh, smart.
29.
Holy balls.
Okay, you
Wait,
notice.
let me double check that, make sure I actually have expertise in sleight of hand. No, excuse me. It's only 26.
Oh well, then.
Really?
Only.
Both of those are good enough for you at the moment. The satchel it's bound. You slowly untie it and look inside, and there it is. It looks like the book you're after is right there.
And it doesn't look weird. It looks, that's Okay,
It looks familiar.
I'm gonna touch it just very briefly. Listen.
Give me a will save.
Dang it. Well, how much inspiration? I'm gonna use inspiration. That's 3. Uh-huh. All right. Wisdom. 20. That's right. I'm a scholar.
Okay. Yeah, you touch the book. It seems fine. Nothing untoward happens.
I'm gonna slide it out. Put it under my arm. Close the satchel. Maybe I'm gonna grab one of these other books and stick it in the satchel. Close it up, and then I time to run away. Make my way back the way I came, hopefully.
Okay. Just give me 1 sec. And you need to make one more stealth roll to get back out, I guess, Willard.
Another stealth roll.
This is, again, though, you're through the tough stuff, so
This is gonna be an easy one.
it shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, you're looking at a 12, which you might not be able to reasonably fail.
I'm gonna use no. I won't get a 1. Yeah, 22.
Okay.
Whew.
Good job, buddy.
Then give me a perception roll.
Oh boy.
What's that for?
1 sec. Sorry, I needed to make it. There we go. Perception?
Yeah.
20. Oh, not 24. 14.
Okay. You get back to your room, right? That's where you were headed?
Yeah.
Would he pass my room on the way to his room by any chance?
Are you being sneaky on your return, Willard?
Yeah, do you think I can hoof this book up the outside to the window?
He probably does pass near your room, Nestriel, but I'm not sure you know that he's out there or anything.
That's
Well.
fair. If you want to notice, you will see candlelight from underneath my door.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real. Yeah, if I noticed that, yeah, I would knock on her door lightly.
I'll let him in. I got your note. Do you have what you left to get?
It's really big.
My goodness. Do you want to dive into this tonight or tomorrow?
Fired up. Let's go.
All right. I'll bring out some more coffee, move the candles over to a table, because candle plus table equals cable. And then pat a seat next to the desk and flop open the book. And me and him are going to do lore mastery things into the deep of the night. So I'll look even more tired tomorrow.
Stay here though. Well, I'll be right back. I'm gonna
Oh.
step out of the room. I'm gonna go find Allred.
You know where my room is?
Yeah, you're pounding on a door, I guess.
What? Oh, oh,
Hey,
Willard. It's late. What's going on?
uh, can I come in?
Of course, yeah.
Step inside.
Shut the door.
Okay. I got the book. It's in Nestriel's room right now. We're going to study it tonight. But you just got to make sure that Kellyan doesn't, happen upon us. Go talk to her or something, or take her for a walk, or go take her out on the night on the town or something. Maybe take Gundar with you too.
I'll see what I can do.
Also, if they come looking for it, we might need a distraction for that as well.
I'll find Gundy.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I understand.
Okay. I'll see you later. And I run off.
I put my weapons on.
Okay. And Willard, you head back to do the long night of scholarlying with Nestriel. While Allred, you're strapped. You're on with your weapons. Is that why they call it strapping young lads? I forget.
Could be.
Because they do a lot of strapping of weapons and stuff onto themselves. I don't remember. But you've done that. What are you going to do next?
Put on my armor. No. I'm gonna. Where is Gundir's room in relation to Kellyan's room?
You're all kind of in
The same general area.
same general area, so none of you are very far from each other. To be fair, Glorfindel's not very far away either, if that's relevant.
Mm.
And even probably more relevant is Gliriel's not too far away either.
Mm.
So, I'm gonna go over to Gliriel first. And I'm gonna let her know what's happening. And hopefully she'll be down for aiding me.
Yes, she is
mostly,
happy to come along with you in your keep Kellyan from the book thing.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go over to Gundir, and I'm gonna.
That
gently
depends.
wrap-
What time of night is it?
At this point, it's pretty late. I mean, Willard had gone and done all of this stuff, so you're probably midnight-ish, maybe a little bit later.
Okay. Well, if it's around midnight, then I'm probably not in my room. I'm probably still out in the yard training.
Would I have any idea he's down there?
Maybe? Probably?
Yeah, I might have Gliriel watch Nestriel's door to make sure no one goes there, and then go find Gundir.
Okay.
Oh, Gliriel might be helpful, actually.
It's always good to have an elven sacrifice around.
Whoa!
I think it's just always good to
Whoa.
have somebody who's 1,000 years old and probably knows a lot more about everything than you do.
Yes,
Excuse
that's-
me.
Yeah.
Saying.
Nestriel beat me to that one.
Hey now.
You're an all-star?
Right here. Thank you very much.
Two of them. No, I need another one. She's not a specialist like you are.
I'll have you know, I'm almost
She knows.
2,000 years old. Thank you very much.
I'm
I'm 8.5 years old.
supposed to be a compliment about
Day
being
over
an
100, though.
All right, research and stuff. Dark things. Much old.
Okay. Allred, what's your plan to find Kellyan?
Oh well, so first I kind of want Gundyr here to. We know where those two. I can't remember the names for the life of me. Where the ones that previously had the books.
Belial and
Belial, yes. Maybe watch in that direction to make sure they're not coming this way, and to run interference if he sees them.
You want me to run interference? Oh man. Well, I was gonna tell you that I'm busy with this, but if you want me to stop Belial from doing anything, I can't say no to that.
Perfect.
So, yeah, I'll keep an eye on them and make sure they don't come our way.
And if I'm not sure that Kellyanne is in her room, then I'll kind of check various spots where I think she might be.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that.
Tea or archery or.
I mean, she was down here shooting the hell out of some dummies, so. But I think she got tired and went to bed.
Kellyanne, are you in your room?
Yeah, I'm reading a book.
Okay. Okay, well, I think that already you end up doing a lot of precautions, and people wander around a lot, and Kellyanne just kind of sits there, right, Kellyanne?
Yeah, I just sit and read my book.
So,
Completely unaware.
I definitely do not knock on her door.
Right.
okay.
Yeah. Are you sure you don't want to tell her that everything's fine?
Yep.
So, okay, Nestriel, I think between the two of you, you're making a scholar roll, shadow lore for sure on this. And you're probably the best for shadow roll lore. We'll give you advantage because Willett is there helping you.
Joke's on you, I already have advantage, because the
I
thing
imagine
that we
so.
got Lorian.
Well, fine then. Just take another one of those +0 bonuses.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
My favorite kind. Okay. That's actually pretty awesome. That gives me... That'll be a 29 on my shadow lore.
Ooh, la-di-da.
Oh.
Well,
FYI,
I mean,
I got a natural 20. You're Don't worry, the one's coming. It just depends on where it shows up.
it
When
just
you-
hopefully comes while you've got advantage so you can ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike disadvantage, where I ignore natural 20s. Oh,
So, just to make sure I caught that, that wasn't a natural 20 on that roll?
that was.
Well, natural 20 on lore rolls seems to be the theme for Nestriel. It's good. Especially when she's looking at dark things and learning bad information about those things.
Hooray.
What could go wrong?
The existential spiral is coming. Don't you worry.
I believe I'd previously described this book as something like the Necronomicon for Middle Earth.
Yay!
And so, hey, you get to get a good grasp on that and kind of what's going on with Willard. You're pretty sure that what the stuff that they've done, I mean, their whole goal, noble or not, was to create a weapon that existed within the Wraith world as well as the real world in order to tackle the Nazgul, the essential problem with dealing with the Wraiths, right? That it's hard, they're not really operating in the same world, and therefore it's hard to tackle them. And you can see how they did that, but in order to do that, there had to be some sacrifices. It looked like originally, you're going to guess they were trying to sacrifice like an item of power or a place of power. It's why they probably went to Numinous, because it was a place with a lot of history and potentially dead Numenor, dead Dunedain there. And maybe use some of those spirits or something to kind of call upon them, their own ancestors, sort of thing, to bring that. Clearly, things didn't go right, and the book itself has some degree, like the binding and how it's put together, so that kind of channels the dead and binds them itself. Clearly, everything that's done with it, what's happened with Willett, is bound to this book. With that 20, you feel pretty confident that if you were to destroy the book, which shouldn't be hugely hard, because it is a lot of the magics in it are fragile, that would release what is done to Willett. At the same time, it would also unbind a bunch of the spirits and stuff that have been used for ages within the book, which includes the ones bound to Willett, but there might be some other repercussions to that. You also, as a side note, if you felt like you wanted to do a couple of nasty necromantic rituals, here's a good guide for it. In fact,
Oh yeah.
if you're
Totally
thinking of
into
that level in Necromancer,
Oh yeah, take that level. Take that level of
this
necromancer.
this book is the door to that level. Just saying.
All right. So what I just heard is decision die. Yeah.
Did you explain that?
No.
No, don't. No.
No.
You call it decision die. I call it making a shadow save.
Oh my god.
So let's do that.
Yeah.
Which is a
Well,
wisdom save against the book, because you have in fact been playing around with the lore of the shadow, and getting some shadow points here is definitely a likelihood for what you just did.
That's fair.
Do I have to as well, or?
Yes, but you're at risk for way less shadow points than Nestriel. Okay, got my DC. What do you got?
Not a natural one, which is what I was fearing. So, corruption save, yeah?
Yes, which is wisdom based.
21?
Hey, that's
Okay.
pretty good.
It is. It's a lovely 18
Willard?
on the die there.
Uh,
20.
20. Okay, you
I
both
have
succeed.
advantage on this.
Yeah, hobbits, they do that.
Mhm.
So Willard, you get away without any shadow. Nestriel, you get a shadow point, but just the one, and it's not obviously in your permanent category, but it's there for now. You do feel sort of icky for playing around with the book,
Yep.
but you have resisted a lot of the dark temptations within it,
Dang.
unless you want to give in to those dark temptations and think about a level
No.
of Necromancer. Now, to be fair, one of the big bad guys is called the Necromancer himself, so knowing more about his magic would totally be useful to saving Mirkwood from the depths
No.
of the south.
No.
Are
No.
you tapping my shadow weakness there, DM?
You have lure of knowledge, right?
Lure of secrets.
Secrets, yes, that's what I would call it. But tapping it just tells me how things go bad when they go bad. That's all it does.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
when you succumb to the shadow, it'll be in a secrets kind of knowledge fashion. But we knew that already.
Yeah, we did.
But this is absolutely within that, though. That's why you had the shadow roll
It is.
and all of that.
It
And
is.
the shadow save that you made was to deal with the current situation, not necessarily the long-term implications. I mean, if you turn around and destroy the book right away, that's an answer. And
That's
right now,
kind of
that's
the answer I was
reasonable.
going for. Willard, how do you feel knowing what we know? I am still 100% on board for getting Glorfindel to destroy this book with his Valar
Mm-hmm.
gifted
Willard
paladin stuff.
somehow has food.
He always does. Not surprised.
So, I mean, it sounds like we should destroy the book.
Was there a but?
Was there a bet, or was that just a statement?
But what? But
I mean, there are other spirits bound to the book, and we don't necessarily know why, but I can only infer that they are unwillingly bound, or even if they are willingly bound, they will be freed. I don't know if that will make your spirit
so we put it in the box.
join you, but that allows it to be found again by people like Belial, who are susceptible to the promises that it has. Even I am tempted to keep this book for the power that it holds and the good that I could do with it, but I know the story of my forefathers too well to trust that this thing of darkness can be used for good.
I would seek to use the book to do good.
Would seek to use the book to do good. Be a late healer instead of not a healer at all. I am inclined
So
to have Glorfindel destroy
again,
it.
yeah, sounds like time to destroy it.
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
Gliriel, pop my head out. Gliriel, can you get Glorfindel for me, please? Quietly.
Yeah, she goes and gets Glorfindel for you.
Glorfindel, please destroy this ancient evil text.
She's using her echo voice.
I am. Glorfindel, destroy this ancient evil text. Does that work better or worse?
About the same.
He
Aw,
raises
I like
an
it.
eyebrow, looks at it. This is the north, right? And all of these rooms have fireplaces in them for obvious reasons.
Right.
So he just picks it up and throws it in the fire.
See, we're dealing with other, more powerful artifacts, and I was just under the assumption that, like,
I get the tongs and fish the book out.
You fish it right out, or do you
Yeah, I
like
go
wait to
to
see
get
if
it.
it burns, or
Well, maybe I give it a. Go to fish it out, and then I'm like, wait.
I mean, it does look like it's at minimum smoldering, maybe burning.
It's
I'm gonna
it's
grab it,
almost
pull
made
it
of
out, and take a
paper.
look at it. If it looks like it's burning, maybe I'll leave it in there.
I mean, it's absolutely singed on the edges. It smells bad.
oh, okay, well, that works.
Should we just
I
leave
was
it in there?
I
Will the spirits await? Glorfindel, there are spirits attached to this book. If when it's destroyed, they might get out.
Well, then they should go to the wherever it is they need to be, the halls of
Yeah.
Mandos or the lands to the west.
All right. Well, that was much easier than I was expecting. I mean, I was kind of hoping to see some crazy paladin magic, but this.
All right, yeah,
worked.
let's put it in the fire. We warm ourselves with ancient necromancy.
Okay, so it smolders with black, foul-smelling smoke
Ooh, that
as
doesn't
the
look
fire catches into it. But the pages, one by one, slowly burn, leaving an acrid stench behind. And as they do, and as the cover of the book starts to crinkle in the fire, the room itself gets cold. Even though there's a fire in the fireplace, the temperature drops, and you can see your breath. And
Well, I suppose that's what happens when you
Immediately
warm
like some
yourself by necromancy.
and you start to see shadowy forms kind of like standing around the room. The first one standing right next to the fireplace. They're not distinct in any way. There's no features on them. Just like a human-ish shadow as they kind of start to appear around the room. They don't make any movements right away or anything, but the room is cold. Let me know if you do anything differently or continue to wait for burning.
I whisper elven blessings at them. Not that that'll probably do anything because I don't have
Can
any
I
magic.
see this super black smoke from outside?
If you're
Is that
right
part of the
outside,
sky?
if you're right outside the room, like Gliriel definitely is,
Yeah.
you could definitely like smell it more than see it. You could kind of
Oh.
smell the burning stench coming from inside. It's so, and of course, then if you like touch the door, it's like frosted.
I'm just going to stand guard like right outside the door. I'll go ahead and just pull my sword just in case.
Glorfindel has you don't think he did anything, but you do feel like he's glowing a little more than he usually does right now. Hard to say.
Do I see
So
anything
glad he's here.
unique with my shadow vision?
So as they're forming, you probably can totally see like actual faces and stuff in these forms, Willard. Most of which you don't recognize or anything. And in fact, to a large degree, they look like either old noble elves or Dunedin from ages past. But you absolutely, as you're going around the room, and actually Nestriel will notice as well that like one of the shadow forms isn't very tall.
Hey, look.
And when Willard looks at it, he totally sees his mother.
I'll put a hand on your shoulder.
What?
But you can't see their faces.
That's fair, but it's short, and that concerns me because it's either you or someone
Because
you probably
I am
knew.
staring right at it and I'm frozen.
That's enough to prompt me to put a gentle hand on your shoulder. Oh no, Willard.
As he stares at it, the Glorfindel walks over and puts some more wood on the fire.
Thanks, Glorfindel.
And the last bits of the book seem to burn because it is ages old paper and binding. And then you see all of the shadowy wraith-like forms start to dissipate, except for the short one. And it seems like it's stepping towards Willard. At the same time this happens, another shadowy short form steps out of Willard.
Because that's what I was just about to. Oh, what?
Woo!
That's
Out of me?
probably good.
Out of you, yes. And so, Willard, what you can see is you can see a copy of yourself that just stepped out from you, and you can see it, and a copy of your mom,
Mm-hmm.
or at least a version of your mom. There's only one, so who knows what the copy is like.
Right.
And she looks at the copy. The copy looks at you. You look at one of them. The eyes go back and forth. Nestriel, you're watching this, but you can't make out any of the details.
I look at Nestriel, look back at the thing.
Oh boy. I'm sure it's
Can
fine.
do they look tangible?
They look pretty tangible to you, even with the now that it's stepped out from you.
I'm gonna reach out and try to touch one.
I'm going to assume that you pick your mom.
Yeah, I would think so. I'm more comfortable with that. Can I?
You do. You reach out, you touch her. She's a little cool to the touch. But she smiles, steps forward, and gives you a hug. Nestriel, one of them is attacking Philip and has reached forth and engulfing him.
Oh God! Willard, no!
He doesn't seem afraid of it, though, if that's relevant.
I will have a bundle of smoldering hagsweed at the ready, and if it makes any hostile moves or he looks frightened in any way, I'm gonna stick the hagsweed into it like we did with the wraith so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I'm just gonna let it happen.
I hug for a moment and then I step back. Where's father?
Oh.
Shit.
Her mouth moves, but you don't hear anything right away, and then you kind of hear a whisper in your head that says, "Yeah, always had to step in and save everyone. Did it again. Probably got lost before. Always getting lost." You now, the whisper says, "You're not lost. You did good. Strong son," taps you, slaps you on the shoulder. "You just do the thing. One person at a time. Make their life better. That's how this world is. That's how you have an impact in this world."
Are you staying here? Are you what? I look at Nestra. Are they here? What is this?
They are between. She will need to leave. She can't stay or she'll become a real wraith. If you have the option, this is your last goodbye. I really hope that's right.
Willard breaks down,
Oh shit.
hugs his mom. I'm gonna miss you, Mom.
Oh, miss me. Yeah, think of me, but you're alive. I'm not. You do your thing. You'd be good.
She's so casual.
You know, it's amazing how already little things, like just being tough and doing the right thing, have done good things for you, Willard. You'll keep up with that. I know you will. I'm gonna go. Rumor is they've got some that dinner's on.
It's good.
Before she dematerializes, I would like to kind of crouch down next to Willett and put an arm around his shoulders and look at the wraith that I assume is his mother. Don't worry, we will take care of him.
She doesn't seem like she acknowledges Nestriel particularly, Willard.
That's fair. Right.
It's not for her.
It's true.
But she does kind of like wave to that, and she does like, and as a side note, she does turn towards, as she's turning to leave, her gaze passes Glorfindel, and she's like, ugh, elves. It's the last thing she says before she disappears. So maybe she saw Nestriel too.
Who knows? Can I hug you, Willard? Are you in a hugging kind of mood?
Sure. Is that? Yeah. I mean, do you ask him that, or do you just hug him?
Well, I am asking you, the player from player, but
Oh, yeah,
Nestriel
no.
would like pull you into hug.
No, the hugs are good. Hugs are good. Willard is kind of like, whoa. It's the first time I hugged an elf.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Yeah. Hugging elves, says the wraith Willard.
You.
He's still here?
You know, I'll admit that I was really hoping for something a little more, but like, no one views this as threatening at all, Willard.
You need to get back inside here.
In you? I don't
We've a
think
job to
so.
do.
I think we're done. Oh?
This is him. This is him. This is the. This is.
I'm not bound to you anymore. He yells, "Get it!"
Should have done this in the. We should have done this in the box.
Shove the hagweed into it, and hopefully Glorfindel takes it as a hint.
Okay, well, the shadow's like, "Okay, I'm out of here," right? And it just starts booking it on its little tiny legs.
I chase it.
But we destroyed the object that bound it to you. This was supposed to fix it!
Oh, I'm
Rage is a very tired elf.
Why are you
not bound to
chasing?
you anymore, he says, as he leaps through a window.
Who are you?
And I mean actually through the window, right? The window
What
is
are you
closed,
doing with
but
my
it
soul?
goes through. Well, your soul. I got plenty.
You got plenty of.
And
souls?
that's like the last thing he says as he like leaps through the window.
Is this like Peter Pan, where there's a tendril of shadow that's still attached to him, or is it completely free of him?
You don't see anything connecting Willard to the shade.
Hmm. Well,
Shit.
fuck. It's fine. It'll be. We'll figure it out.
Should I chase it? My instinct is to chase it.
It's out the window.
Well,
What
I mean,
floor are we on?
not the first.
there a grappling hook in here?
Uh,
Can
Okay.
I climb down?
I mean, why didn't the other elf do something?
Damn it, Glorfindel. Why are you here?
Shit, he was probably just as confused as everyone else.
Probably.
is his initiative really any better than anyone else in the rooms? No.
Probably better than mine. All right. Well, we still did a good thing. We'll figure out how to deal with that in the morning.
So, Willett, I assume you like got the window open and you're like looking out the window, looking at
I
the
feel
curtain,
like we're
going,
literally back to square one.
"Can we get there?"
Ugh. We came here chasing that damn thing.
But you learned what happened to your mother, and we have a hint about your father. And we rid the world of an incredibly powerful and dark shadow artifact. I think we've made good progress.
Okay.
Alred knocks at the door.
They're going to be pissed, by the way, when they find that the book is missing.
Well, yes, but we still did the right thing. And sometimes that's hard for people to hear.
Been a heck of a couple of months.
This is true.
So, with that, I mean, Allred is at the door, but in general, the anything else for the evening scene, or are we ready to move on?
Thank you for trusting me with this, Willard. I'm very grateful that you chose me to help you through this.
And all red.
And Allred. Allred, you can come in. The deed, everything, we're done. Everything that we can do tonight is over.
Did it
We should all
all?
actually get some sleep. Yes and no. We'll talk about it over breakfast.
Okay.
If you actually could have the others come here in the morning and bring me food, that would be phenomenal.
Food?
Yes.
Sounds great.
Well, maybe I'll go down and help the cook make breakfast.
Why don't
I'm
you get some
hungry right
sleep
now.
first?
I'll get started now.
Okay.
Well,
I'm going to head down to the kitchen.
I'm gonna go to bed.
so we're going to fast forward to the next morning where we all show up in Nestriel's room with pastries.
Mm-hmm.
And some coffee.
Coffee.
And
Just burning through that coffee already.
and that includes Kellyan and Gliriel and Glorfindel and the lot.
Yep, everybody.
I probably won't be there. I head down to the archery area instead, and I start shooting some stuff, and then I'm gonna make my way. I'm gonna probably do some jogging, things to clear my head.
If I see Kelly, and I will tell her the plan, but can't force her.
To meet in a room with you guys.
In
My room
Nestriel's room.
specifically.
I kind of
Heavy-
give you guys
heavy look.
I give you a bitter smile. You guys seem to be doing pretty good without me. Tell me how that book turns out. And I walk off.
Well, that's what the.
I walk off.
But that's what the meeting's about. Okay.
Well, we'll deal with her later.
Okay, let's do a meeting in the room, and then I'll do a Kellyan scene. So let's do the room first.
Which I'm sure is going to be totally chill.
Yeah, we'll see.
No chill.
Okay. So a very tired Nestriel is currently sitting on her chair by her little desk thing, holding a very warm cup of coffee, looking very tired. So, we're all meeting in here to let everybody know the results of what happened last night. Good morning, Gundyr. Willard procured the very dark, evil book that was used to bind his shade to him, and after researching into what it was and perhaps what it meant for his soul and the binding and all of these other things, Willett and I agreed to destroy the book, which meant Glorfindel threw the book in the fireplace, and it burned, and it was a horrid, horrid stench, and then a bunch
That
of
was it?
shadows came out. Yeah,
Oh.
right? I thought there would be, like, paladin magic, but I guess you just burn books, and that destroys them? I'm sure it's
If
fine.
only everything was that easy.
Yeah. Like, what do you think this is? A ring or something?
Right. Made out of
Which
Maybe
also is
it's
laser.
through
destroyed
that.
by fire, but you
Yeah.
know.
Fires of Mapumba.
A lot of shadows came out. I think Willard can tell you more about that. Willard?
Yeah, no. So my shadow doppelganger is out there again.
Wait, he
So
wasn't destroyed with the book?
Destroying the book released them, and apparently that does not mean the same thing for Willard's shade, though we don't know why. So I need to have a word with Saruman about his advice.
You have
We
fun
all-
with that.
um,
I will.
and I guess I learned that my mother passed on.
Mm.
But my dad might still be out there.
I'm sorry to hear that, Willard.
Yeah. Although it's good news that your father might still be alive out there. I hope
Find
you
him.
find him.
If I can, I'll
But-
help you find him.
If you guys will excuse me, I gotta train some more. So unless you've got anything else important to tell me.
Well, I was hoping to have you all gathered because I have a thought, but it is not a particularly good one. When researching the book, I can probably do the ritual that we did earlier that will rebind Willard's shade to him, but that dabbles in dark magics, and I am afraid to do that. But it would prevent Willard's shade from attempting to assassinate people and getting him in even more trouble that he did not cause. And you are the only people I trust to help me make this choice.
I say no, mostly because dabbling in dark things doesn't help anything. Doesn't make things better. Only makes it worse. I think there's a way to deal with Willard's shadow. Willard that doesn't involve doing that.
We could find another way.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I think
I'll just
that may be our backup plan. Last resort sort of thing.
Okay. Well, speaking of backup plan, Kellyan. You're getting as
I'm just-
far away, hanging out near the archery. What are you
In
doing?
training with other people. I'm just,
Doesn't
working out because what I saw and all that stuff just makes me believe, that these guys don't trust me, and I understand that. So, I mean, why hang out past what I'm getting paid for?
Okay,
so
so
I'm just
as you're
doing my
doing
thing.
that, you get kind of your shadow tingle, like there's evil around. Here in
Your what
Fornos?
tingle?
It's a shadow tingle. It's a Kellyan thing. You don't need to understand. Do you go investigate?
Oh yeah, sorry, I totally put this on mute. Yes, I do investigate.
Nice. Okay. You go around a corner and you see Willard. He's like sitting there, kind of like in the shade by the side of the keep. It looks like he's sweating pretty heavily. Looks kind of uncomfortable.
Willard,
Hi. Yeah.
I approach him carefully. Does he seem any different?
Uh, like in every way but appearance.
Can I do my shuttle or let's see, because I'm automatically aware of the presence or proximity of ghost shades.
Yep. You're aware of that, yes.
So is the
Totally going off your ghost shade tingling senses.
you're not attached anymore, are you?
Uh, me? What do you mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I've been up all night. Do you want to go inside? Catch up?
Uh, no, I'm fine. Although, man, the sun, like, oh gosh, it's rough out here. Yeah, inside it'd probably be
It would be better.
better. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. How's
I'm
it
gonna take
going?
him towards that elf guy, whatever his name is.
Glorfindel?
Yeah, I'm gonna take him to Glorfindel's room because I don't think he's been there and stuff. But I'm gonna take him to where I think the elf guy is.
Why are we going this way? I'm
Well,
not
you
like
said you.
maybe food, maybe just some shelter.
Well, yeah, I have food in my room. Unless you want to go find the others and you want to talk to them instead. I figured you
Oh
and I
no,
can
no,
catch
not
up.
at all. No, no.
Yeah, so do you want to catch
Your
up and
room?
just talk out about the fight and what we're gonna do to prepare for it? I figured you and I need to come up with a game plan.
Sure, yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Well,
Uh,
then hurry up. Don't tell me you're getting slow in your old age, too.
you definitely notice that he's also like fingering a dagger, as you head that
Oh,
direction.
all right. Um, I go into the elf's room.
Sure, the elf
Nope.
is not there at the moment. Although you can
Fucking.
probably almost hear them because they're just like a door down having a conversation about, I don't know, a wraith or some shit. So anyways, but
Such. Okay. Fuck. Why isn't he ever where he needs to be? Damn it. Huh. That's interesting.
this isn't your
Uh,
room, is it? It looks like it's
no,
for
I've just been so.
someone, I mean, even taller.
Are you saying I'm short?
Look at me.
Yeah. Good point. Well, let's go this way instead.
Uh, Give me a deception roll.
Deception. I can not deceive. Oh, I can deceive. Oh my goodness. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23.
Okay. Yeah, okay, sure. He comes with you.
Okay.
He doesn't look
I
like he's doing very well. Like, like stumbling, maybe sick or something. Hard to say.
all right. I kicked down their door.
Okay, so you guys are in the middle of the conversation you were just having about that. Kellyanne, like, blows the door open and's got Willard, like, right beside her. What do? Do you, like, grab Willard and throw him in the room, or?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
Oh,
do.
Kelly, and I'm so glad you could Oh,
I might brandish my
Oh.
sword a little bit as soon as the door gets kicked in, but
I see you have discovered what happened last night without the meeting. That's good. You are always very resourceful.
There is another Willard in this room. I'm sure Kellyanne is not too surprised at that at this point.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
No.
Well,
So you guys did destroy the book. That's great. I'm glad you all figured that out yourselves.
I'm gonna tackle the other Willet.
Yes, just give me an attack roll.
Hobbit fight.
Roll. Attack rolls. 19.
Yeah, you
Nice.
totally tackle him.
Yeah. Then I want to pin him to the ground.
I have a window in this room, right?
Yeah, he ran out of it just a couple of hours ago.
If you place him in the sunlight, he will likely disintegrate on his own.
Then do it.
Disintegrate.
Yes, he's made of shadow. He can't survive in the sunlight. And then you will be rid of him.
I mean, or I could like go back in you during the day like it used to be. I mean, that's an option, right?
I
Are
don't
you
think it
going to
is.
continue to murder people while he's asleep? Because I don't consider that an agreeable term of service.
Yeah, no more murdering.
I
Mhm.
don't think we can trust it.
Are the shades like drawn right now in this room?
Nah, not after last night.
Okay.
Who are you?
We really want to know.
Who are you?
Um, I mean, I'm just an old spirit, you know. I've been around for a while, kind of got bound to the book, not a big deal. That's gone now. Thank you. And you're dead.
But
Why
you're
can't you
also
just? Why were you killing things?
Um, uh, they deserved it. You're probably not going to believe that, right?
they had it. They had it coming.
I glance at Kellyan.
What?
Check out this guy.
I mean, it's what I do, what I need to.
Can they all hear or understand? Can we all?
Yes, it's pretty solid now. It's not like the Wraith thing you had before.
Right. She can see it. It's okay. Yeah, we're good. Because it's daytime, maybe.
That's a good assumption.
All right. We're gonna. If you just.
How did you pick your victims?
Like, how much detail do you want?
Not just enough to keep you alive until maybe darkness. You gotta start talking. Give you a fair fight, maybe.
I don't know. Good people. They're tastier.
Oh,
I drag him into the sun.
Was that the wrong? Wait, I thought that. Yeah. Anyways, there's some protesting as you drag into the sun.
Yep.
And yeah, you.
Drag him out in the sunlight.
It doesn't look like any near like this kind of immediate like I dissolve in the sun kind of thing, but it's like clearly uncomfortable and slowly like bits of the wraith are slowly kind of burning off in the sun. So it's a little torturous to watch.
Well, too bad.
I'm just sure I could be really useful. Get places no one else can get to at night. Deal with wraiths, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Doing
no
it
deal.
for thousands of years, can keep doing it.
My only question
I
is,
just
why is he so
silently-
small? Is he also a hobbit?
Watch.
Yeah, wasn't such a great like form there.
So what? You just take the form of your host, like a. I don't know.
I mean, in this case, it was kind of a people using the book like didn't really know what they were doing. I'm just gonna be honest.
That's not
very
surprising.
unsurprising.
Yeah, that's a real big shocker.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm shocked.
Says guy who read book. Okay. The I mean, there's going to be some protesting and the like, but I assume you're just going to let the shadow dissolve in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that happens. And the last wisps of it disappear, and there appears to be no more of the thing that has haunted Willard for a while.
Huh.
I told you we'd take care of it in the morning.
Right? That's way easier than I thought it was going to be.
Willard, how do you feel?
Can I still see shadow vision?
Nope. No shadow vision. Sun seems fine to you, all that stuff.
Feels normal. Only the sense of impending dread.
Ah,
Well, that's normal.
Okay, well, speaking of impending dread, it appears that Arfagil and Belial have shown up in the doorway.
Oh shit!
After the guy went away? Or
Yeah.
as
Here we go again.
Alright, cool.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Charming smile.
I just sit there cross-armed looking real smug.
oh boy.
So no one can tell anything different for Gundyr. Never mind.
Right. Business as usual.
I'm gonna stand up.
Something seems to have gone missing in the night, Belial says.
Your sanity? Ooh, can I buy a Vel?
Mm.
I
I'm
don't
gonna.
understand.
What would you think, Gundyr?
Ooh, I would say somebody stole Belial's underwear. That's
Ooh.
my bet.
No, a dagger.
That's my bet.
Maybe a family encrusted dagger? Gold? Rubies?
Family dagger.
I took the book.
And
We took the book.
I took the. I'm
I took the
Spartacus.
book.
No, I am Zoro.
and
Good. Good references.
Mm-hmm.
And it is destroyed, as it should have been a long time ago.
she nods. She doesn't look like horribly angry, maybe, but she turns to Arfagil and to all of you and says, "Well, let us hope that was the right decision. It is now
never
best that we
wrong.
prepare for the storm that is coming."
It's never wrong to destroy Shadow when you can.
Yet the shadow
But-
is still here
I understand.
and still grows.
And
But
so are we.
We will see
And
that
so are
face to
you.
face
We're gonna
in
be
the near
okay.
future.
Have you checked on the king yet this morning?
King, we actually are a day behind on telling you how the king
Oh.
went. Side note.
Ha!
But the short answer is that the king seems to be stable, and everyone seems to agree that is at least whatever ails him has at least been slowed, but he has not been cured.
All right.
There is
That's all I could hope for.
not much consensus on how long before he'll wake up and/or die. And this is a case where it is totally and/or. Not.
Nice.
He could do both. He could do one or the other.
All right.
So, yes, that's the outcome there. That's still the case this morning. And I think we're going to fast forward because it's already, we've been here for a while. We still got some stuff to do. We've got to fight, and the army is coming.
Yeah.
So you get one action-ish scene if there's anything you want to do before in the week for prep. And then we're going to have the army of the Nazgul, the Ice King, descend upon Fornost. I will say that this day the hobbits arrive, so Marco and all of his hobbits
Yay.
march into Arthedain,
Hey.
or into Fornost as an additional force. And in general, you got some pretty good feedback on the army coming in, including the fact that it's now even more fatigued because the hobbits have stole all of its food up north. The
Stole?
Angmar's army is more fatigued, to be clear.
Oh.
Although certainly the nobles' army that got somewhat decimated, like 50% casualties, out there is in pretty bad shape and probably won't be doing a lot of the fighting. At the moment, they don't think it'll need to because there's plenty of other units around in the army. In fact, Angmar's army is probably going to attempt to attack and lay siege to a fortress without a numerical advantage. So it's going to be all about race.
It's all about that race. All about the race.
Wraiths.
Wraiths, no trouble.
Before we get to the battling part, I will at some point have a conversation with the group about. I have decided that I will no longer take part in combat after the previous events of this week, and after what Kellyan has told me. I have decided that my role against the Shadow is not one of an aggressive nature. I'm here to help, heal, and to save, not to take life. So I will no longer be participating in combat. And I put my bow down in front of the group.
You should keep it. Because
Oh my
sometimes
god, that makes me feel so much better.
I pick it up and I hand it back to her. It's always good to have a backup, though. Don't be foolish.
I appreciate that, Kellyan.
I respect your decision. It's a noble one. I'll just
But
have to
I still
fight
have-
twice as
Oh yeah, no, you can absolutely do much more good here than you can on the front line. That's for damn sure.
I'm still willing to go with you to help heal you in the midst or the immediate aftermath of combat, but
My only question is,
for me, dog.
how can we fight the Shadow? These weapons are not so
Very
good against them.
useless.
We just have to learn how to hit harder.
I don't think that's the answer, Gundir.
That is the answer.
Well, we have a small army of elves that hopefully the majority of them have the elf light arrows, which is a thing
So,
my race can do that I
When you
cannot.
say
And we
small
know
army of
fire
elves, are you really referring to
Oh.
like 3 elves, right?
Right.
I mean,
I thought
That's-
Glorfindel came with like people.
Oh no, just Glorfindel came by himself.
It was literally
I mean,
just
3 elves, that's an army. She's just very confident about elves.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine.
That,
I mean,
that
basically
classic
an
Cyrodiil
army
doesn't
for
have an
himself.
army.
Yeah, 3's an army.
I mean, to be fair, Elwahir and Eladan came along, and in theory they'll show up any day. And so that's 3, 4, and 5 if you count Nestriel and Gliriel.
Wasn't Sauron supposed to show up too?
Sauron? Or Sauron?
Yeah.
Sauron.
No.
We all die.
Oh my gosh, Sauron.
No.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to say anything about whether Sauron shows up or not. But you are not anticipating Sauron arriving here. He had talked about some travels in Gondor and like working with some of the like Lorien and Mirkwood areas, but I don't think he was coming this far north.
Did we get to send out our calls to aid to our individual peeps?
Of course you did. But then you came this way fast, so they are unlikely to get here in time for the fight.
Brr.
And it's pretty unclear whether Lorien would send anything anyways, other than the champion that they've already sent.
I'm here.
Hey, all red.
But certainly,
I need to learn how to create that elven light.
seeing if what the Northmen and how they could help might be a thing. I think those were the 2 we had, right? For
Oh yeah.
Thranduil's not gonna send stuff? It's not gonna show up
I-
on his giant war elk and
did
You mean Sergeant Stay at Home?
I don't recall you sending one to Thranduil. Did you send one to Thranduil?
probably not. I wouldn't.
I mean,
No.
You know what the
No.
answer's gonna be.
the Elframe are a mounted force. They can cover ground quickly.
Yeah, they can show up and say no.
I probably didn't, because I don't wanna.
What?
Nope.
Okay. Well, now that I had that conversation, I think I don't know if there's anything else anyone wants to do, but one of the key conversations is going to be, what is our actual plan when Nazgul and a bunch of wraiths show up at the front door, and we in theory, right, you guys have lugged this box all the way here, with this concept, at least, that you could, like, get a Nazgul in it and shut it. I mean, good or bad, whether that's plan A, plan B, plan C, D, E, I don't know. But what is going to be the plan? I mean, we are sure that the plan involves pointing Glorfindel at the Nazgul and seeing what happens. But other than that, what are you guys going to do?
Can we get behind enemy lines somehow?
And do what with a box?
Well,
I mean, the best bet is to do a bait and switch. Get Glorfindel in to draw in at least one of them, and see if he can outmaneuver them into the point where like we can potentially push him into this box or trip him or do something.
I think the actual physical getting him in the box is
Gonna
up
be
to
the
me and Gundyr.
yeah.
So you're gonna go all giant spider on him.
Yep.
Yeah.
It worked last time.
So
Shove him in a box.
it's one of our new verbs. Giant spidering someone means grabbing a monster you really should in no circumstances grab, and then trying
Yeah.
to like,
Grapple a monster you have no business grappling, and then shove him in a box.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much the giant spider strategy.
Gundyr,
Mhm.
one or both of us is very likely to be stabbed with their dagger.
I ain't scared of that shit.
The thing is that you guys got to also keep in mind that you guys have to wait for the right moment, which means you can't go into battle.
I'm sorry, what?
You need to focus 100% on getting this person into the box. That means you cannot be fighting like two other people.
Well, yeah, when I'm getting them into the box, obviously, but, before/after we get them into the box.
All right, it's going to be up to you.
Well, do we know if anybody has direct or maybe even indirect connection to this particular ring wraith? Like, I don't know, Galleon?
Do I? Is this one? Greg, I don't think it is this one.
This is not the one. No, your beef
damn
is
it.
with the Witch King himself.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, as I refer to it, next episode. Did
What?
I say that? Sorry, I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Oh, great.
Yay!
But yeah, the plan is the box, unless any of you know of a way to actually destroy the material form of a ring wraith.
Can't say that I do.
How about you, Glorfindel? You ever kill a Nazgul before?
I have not yet tested myself against one of them. I did encounter them during the fight of the last alliance. And
Oh, hey.
I feel that they have reason to fear me.
Yeah, there's a first time for everything.
Glorfindel, do you have any tips on how a mortal man could fight one?
It is with a true heart and the blessing of the Valar that you should step in front of the wraiths of death.
Nice. Where do we get those?
Shit, I got that in spades.
We don't have that.
Speak for yourself.
On the other hand, it should be easy to get a lot of fire, says Gliriel.
Fire is good. We've already tested that, and it works very well. Probably let the general army at large know about that.
So then
Flaming weapons.
Fire
Maybe-
arrows.
Don't you want to know how we keep starting fires?
maybe we should set a circle and
Might
douse
be
it in oil and then light that on fire to keep both that wraith and Glorfindel in that circle with the box. So that keeps him from any form of escape with whomever is going to push him in.
That's gonna have to be a lot of fire.
So it's going to be a lot of oil.
It's my desire.
He is like an ice-based Nazgul. I don't know how well. Either fire will work better against him, or he'll just be like, fire. Psh. Now it's out. But hey, no time like the present to try.
Yeah. I don't know how we're going to do this, but I'm down to help whatever you need.
So the army approaches. As you can see, it actually is like in a very Lord of the Rings fashion, is bringing a cloud of darkness with it. It's not just dark though; it's kind of like a cold. I mean, there's like a storm, a blizzard is coming in. as it approaches, and you can see it off in the distance, even that day, uh, as the darkness approaches. And that in of itself is pretty unnerving. But the men of Arthedain seem pretty solid and strong, and they've faced up against the shadow before, so the spirits aren't too bad. As it approaches, the town has of course been evacuated into the keep, uh, and the army makes no pretense of like burning the lands or anything. It goes straight for the fortress with almost not quite at a run, but at a high clip as it's heading your direction. So Will had made some comment about getting behind the enemy lines. The Once it gets
So I
to the
think
castle, it's going to obviously there's going to be a siege type thing going on. You're unsure exactly what the race will do in the siege, but you've all encountered them and know that things like walls might not be that big a deal. Although you haven't actually heard of ring race walking through walls there, Kellyanne.
No.
So uh, it's
I
pretty much
think
an unknown about what's going to happen there when they hit the walls.
we have to
As long as they
find
keep
them first.
everything. Yeah.
We have to know where the ring wraith is.
Well, we can always get it to come to us. Typically, the all-powerful leader of an opposing army has a tendency to focus on the other army's command or leadership. Either we need to be with the king, or we need to make sure that it knows Glorfindel is here so that it comes to kill him specifically. Or us, even.
The king does not lead the army currently.
And he's too weak and they know it. So he would not be a good one to stand behind. It's
Well,
going to be
who-
Glorfindel.
Who leads in his stead? His
Arvigil,
son,
his son,
Arvigil.
yeah. You know the guy you worked with.
Yep.
He's in charge.
I was referring
Then
to him.
perhaps we should use Arvigale to make a push out the gate. Draw the Nazgul to us.
That's cool, like theatrics, right? They sound like they would go for that kind of thing, especially when they think they're going to win.
I mean, they always think they're going to win, so.
We could always call him a bitch.
I can do that. I know black speech well enough at this point.
I mean that'd get my attention.
Uh, okay, so we sally forth with our best fighters and a coffin.
As
On
long
a
as Arvindale agrees to this plan,
I mean, I think he
it's
will.
not without its risks.
I mean, essentially what you're talking is he gets the Royal Guard, which is like the best, one of the best military units on Middle Earth. You guys get involved with that. They wait for the siege to start, and then if they see the Nazgul, they sally forth out there to destroy it, kind of thing.
Yeah, draw him to us.
Which is going to happen, right? Like even as it's close, it's really clear where the Ice King leader Nazgul thing is. He's got like some cold lizard thing that he's riding, and he's got this glowing blue crown, and stands in the forefront, and all that come before him like cower in fear and those sorts of things. So
Does his
it's pretty
mount
obvious.
fly?
No, it is not flying.
It'd be a whole different set of problems.
Gundyr, I think we have to kill his mount.
Something like that. Yeah.
Dismount him somehow, and
You're pretty sure that the lizard thing that he's riding will not fit in the box.
no,
No.
certainly not.
That's fair.
Well, there's no time like the present, and I knocked my bow. You ready, boys?
Oh, I'm so ready.
You gather right at the gates as the army approaches. The darkness falls over the land, so now it is pitch black, and the snow and the biting cold seeps into the land. It starts to blow. Visibility gets reduced, and the whole thing is kind of a mess. But you're ready, and you're standing next to some men, sparkling warriors of Dunedain in their finely polished mail and gleaming swords, straight backs. Arvagil at the near the head of that, and you're next to Glorfindel, who is the greatest warrior of the modern age. His long sword held easily in one hand on a white horse that rides faster than any. And
Oh.
as your doors are ready to, we'll get back to that already. The my flavor text may disagree with your reality.
Oh.
We'll get back to it later. Anyways, and the doors of the keep swing open and they charge out towards into the blizzard that is the Ice King's army. Yeah, let's do this. So let's just start with initiative.
Yeah.
Any chance we can have some bats of burning oil nearby to?
Oh, I'm
weapons
sure
on
that you have
fire?
some bats of burning noise. They're probably up on the walls there, but you are bringing a carriage or a cart behind you with a box in it. Feel free to like fill it with oil too.
Oh yeah,
Do
absolutely.
we need
Awesome.
do we need a horse to be pulling that carriage?
Probably.
All right,
If-
Dustcart would be a good choice for that because
I mean,
he's
unless
not
you-
easily scared.
Unless one of you want to do it.
Right. No, I think Dusk.
Oh yeah, totally. Let me just.
I mean,
strap
Nestra
on
wasn't
in.
going to fight. She could just tow the cart instead.
She's just like 100 yards behind us. I got it.
My -1 strength modifier.
No
I got
pain,
it.
no gain, Nestra. We're gonna get you some sick gains.
Let me get swole.
You're gonna get swole.
Oh god, that so annoys me, that word.
She could be the swollest elf.
Oh.
Okay.
See, I can do moist. I'm fine with moist. I can't do spell.
Oh, I got to roll for. I got a whole lot of NPCs here.
I
You
got
got
decent
a-
on my initiative for once.
Okay, well, Glorfindel's good. Gliriel is slow.
I'm in double digits.
Ooh.
Ew.
As a side note, just as you push forward, like you look over to the side and you see Marco Fallowhide, like in the group, and you don't recall him being invited, but there he is.
What the?
I would have invited him.
No better hobbit than to fight alongside both Marco and Willard.
Okay. So my highest is looking to be 22, I think, something like that.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Anybody there below 22, or I mean higher than 22?
I got a 20 once. That's it.
Okay. Well,
That's it.
the good
Oh.
news for you is that 22 is Glorfindel.
Oh, good.
Hey,
Woo!
Good news.
go get him, buddy.
So he charges Asphalloth and him charge forward. We're not. No, we won't talk about that now. Anyways, they charge forward and right towards him because that's kind of the thing, right? As far as you can tell, the Ice King sees Glorfindel, who seems to glow even in the darkness and the snow, and the blizzards almost parts around him as he approaches. The Ice King does not falter in any fashion, but almost like a look of glee on his two pinpointy blue eyes appears, and the charges directly at the two of them go right at each other.
Get the box ready. Get the box. Oh man, he can Glorfin Mindell anytime.
Same though.
I mean, really, yeah.
Who's gonna say no to that?
Right.
In part 2, our next episode is called The Bachelor. Glorfindel back at Rivendell, where there's a little bit of a competition going on.
The elf always wins.
I guess
I mean,
there's
he's
my
got-
next LARP, right? Glorfindel Bachelor. Never mind.
He's got so much going for him.
We are.
The most
I am doing a
Multiple
reality TV show for MISCON, so
I mean, I'm
anyway,
not,
but not Bachelor.
jealous of him per se, but I'm just saying.
Okay, let me pull up Glorfindel's ungodly character sheet here for a second
Oh my god.
and make some rolls because he goes first.
Marco got an 8 on initiative.
Marco got an 8 on initiative.
Okay,
nice.
well, Glorfindel's
Good job,
opening swing is a critical because he criticals on like most of
Shit.
his dice rolls. So
Oh,
Shoot!
I could
Okay.
range 5 to 20.
Damn, son.
wow. Thank you, Elrond.
One of-
Best gift ever.
one of the special abilities that warriors can get is that they, instead of fumbling on a 1, they critical on a 1 when they roll it.
Lol.
So,
Which is phenomenal for you.
That's
so like should be good for me.
That's OP, Greg. Only in your hands.
Greg, only in your hands.
Let me write down a bunch of damage here because Glorfindel does a lot of it.
Yeah, tons of damage.
With his glowing sword, it does seem like the wraith is shrinks back against the power, the radiant power of Glorfindel. It does not hit with his second one. Hits with the third, and because he wants to get this over, is going to throw some, smite on that.
Of course he is.
So let's. What are we
Paladins
looking
are
at?
great.
21. So Glorfindel does somewhere in the vicinity of 65 points of damage to him this turn. So it's
Oh! Oh my goodness.
almost below average for him.
What?
I could take
Dang, I
one
can get
round
one
of that.
by
I could take one down.
Except the second one probably would have hit me and not missed.
Right.
Yeah, and none of it counts as a standard slashing as well, so that's not
Yeah.
good for you.
Oh yeah, we should activate that.
Yeah. Yes, frenzying is now a good
Okay,
thing to do.
Battle
Gundam,
Fury,
you're next.
Yeah, I frenzy and charge forward. I can see that the Ice King is obviously looking at Glorfindel, which makes sense because that just makes sense. So I'm gonna go fight next to Glorfindel and wait for my opportunity to grab him. So, but until he comes down to actually face us, on the ground, I'm just gonna have to kill anybody who tries to get in the way. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, are you going to attack him, his mount, or any of
I'm
that?
attacking his mount.
Okay, you do need to make a fear check. Wisdom. save.
no. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I don't think you can. You don't need to. Hold on.
As you approach.
Let's wait to see what Kellyan's BS is.
Okay, when undead is forcing wisdom check against corruption or fear, I can make a roll. I have to make the roll, and then it helps other people. I have
okay.
to be
So
there.
at Killian's turn, it's possible she might inspire you if you fail this.
Right.
But
If I fail this, and this is wisdom,
give it
I
a
believe.
roll. Yes, it is wisdom.
Okay, well that's a 19.
Nice.
That does make it.
Sweet.
So-
I charged this thing.
Give its mount some hell.
Yeah, I will in fact do so. Yep, 2 attacks. All right. Does a 23 hit?
Yes.
Okay. And then does a 21 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Good enough. So that's going to be 18 points, followed by 16 points
Okay.
of damage.
You slash into the beast. It hisses at you, and just being near the Nazgul, you can kind of feel its overwhelming presence. And in this case, it's very cold. So take
Hmm.
10 points of cold damage this round
Hey.
for your attack. Uh, anyone before 17?
I have a 17.
Uh, I do you want to go before or after the Nazgul? I guess I'm assuming your answer is before, but
Always before.
okay, go for it.
All right, I'm gonna like on my way over, like I dipped a couple of my arrows in the oil that we have that we're doing, and I'm gonna like shoot at the mount.
Sure.
Nat 20! Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Holy shit! Thank you. Dice rolling gods.
Get it.
Okay. Wait. Okay. I haven't had a nat 20 when it came in combat for a long time. I have no idea what I'm doing.
You roll your dice twice,
Ah,
which probably isn't huge. It's just your base for the attack.
Great.
Although we're calling it a flaming arrow, which is an
Right.
extra D4, so you get to roll that too,
Yeah, you
Oh,
get to roll
cool.
two
and you get to roll it twice. Yeah.
with bonus fire.
Okay, so 6 fire damage. Then 8 and 7, 15 plus the 2, so 17 regular.
Good solid hit. You get a
Yeah.
second attack, correct?
Yes, I do. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Does 20 hit?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, great. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Oh, 3 of which are fire. Sorry. Oh, wait, 4.
Okay. The Ice King his mount rears up as it has been shot and stabbed and slashed, and the Ice King himself has seen the fury of Glorfindel go into it. You can see that in its hands is one of those is the dark sword that's exactly like Wethril's that you saw before, and it turns that sword upon Glorfindel. Okay, it takes its first swing, plunges into the shoulder of Glorfindel as darkness hits light, and Glorfindel like looks at the stab and like with a smile on his face, like, oh, this is nothing. But then suddenly, like he stops, and the light that's been around him goes out, and there's a black
no.
sucking sound from the sword
Oh,
as
no.
Oh no.
as a black cloud comes from the wound and just flows into the wraith, and
Aw,
where
damn it.
Glorfindel was like this glowing great warrior, he falls from his horse. And this dark cloud that you can it is sort of hard to see, but you can see the dark cloud doesn't just go to the into the Ice King, but like goes up into the air, and there's like a howl of rage of some sort, and then the Ice King turns his gaze to Gundyr.
oh shit!
Hey.
Oh, no.
How's it going?
Does a 19 hit you, Gundyr?
A 19 does in fact hit me.
But a 15 doesn't, right?
15 misses.
Okay. You take 12 slashing and 18 necrotic from getting hit.
Oh, God. Ow. Hey. Okay, well, that really hurt. Not the slashing so much, but the necrotic definitely.
And then the second attack misses. There is also
Yes.
in standard fashion for slayers and the like, there's also a mounted beast that now wants to eat you. It generally
Yay!
looks way less frightening than um, the wraith, but it does look like it hits you. Yes. So take 10 slashing from getting bit.
All right.
It's probably puncture, but you don't really care the difference.
Right. It's, yeah, that doesn't really matter as long as it's physical.
Okay, 16, 15, 14.
15. Oh boy. So I think what I have to do is charge in.
Kill them
Cast
out.
aside my own sword and shield and pick up Glorfindel's sword.
Sure.
Yeah, that seems like a smart move.
I'll give you that as a
Oh.
bonus action.
I'll use Battle Fury and a reckless attack to attack the wraith. That's a good idea.
I believe in you, buddy.
And I'll as I'm charging up, I'll call Dustcart to come to me.
Sure. As
Alright.
a side, well, I guess we're not there on initiative yet. Go, keep going. Do your
Okay,
rolls.
okay. I'm immune to fear, so I don't need to worry about that. Yay! Okay. Does a 15
Oh, that's
hit?
what I was looking up. I was looking up
Probably not.
the sword you just picked up.
Oh, yeah. Unless it gives me some sort of bonus.
What's your proficiency? +4, +3?
We're at +3s.
Okay, so you get one of these abilities
Okay.
when using the sword. Its crit range for you is 19 to 20. So there you go.
Okay, cool. I take it that I have to wield this in two hands?
Yes, it is a two-handed sword.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one not so good, only a 15.
15 does not hit.
Yeah, dang it, Aaron. Why?
I believe in you.
How about a 17?
No. No, it doesn't.
Well, I'm trying, guys.
That was with advantage, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, not great rolls.
Clearly. Okay.
Dang.
15, 14, 13, 12, 11.
11.
12.
Oh.
Well, Nesfield, are you doing anything about what you just saw?
I was gonna prep the coffin, but Glorfindel's down, and that makes me sad. When he went down, did it look like damage that took him down, or things that I can't help with?
It did not look like damage.
Neat. I'm gonna just look kind of panicked
I mean-
and begin prepping the coffin.
If you wanted to know more, you could try and, like, go see his body.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna get the sarcophagus ready for things. That's my turn.
Okay. 11 then.
Boy, there is a lot I want to do. I spent half a second helping Nestriel get the stuff ready, and turn back and look and see Allred and Gungnir getting their face punched in. Crap. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna run out to Glorfindel.
Okay. His horse seems to have done a relatively good job of keeping him from, like, falling over. So you could potentially grab his horse and, like, lead it back.
Is he okay? I maybe
He
do that,
looks
but
unresponsive in the saddle.
I slap him.
His eyes do not open. Although, there's a physics thing involved in how the slap happens.
There's a physics thing involved in how most things happen, as it turns out.
Well, it was just, you're not very tall, and he's on a really big horse, and he's really tall.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I'll take him back to the thing then. Maybe Nestriel can... I don't know. I'll roll medicine on him or something. I don't know what to do.
Sure. You manage to get out there and lead the horse back to the other horse and Nestriel, and then by rolling medicine, you're kind of like helping Glorfindel off and into the cart.
That is a 21 on medicine.
Okay. With the 21, you definitely get like he still seems to be like breathing and stuff.
I shout, "He's alive! He's alive!"
I'll handle it. Go help the others.
I turn and look back
Don't
at
forget
the...
the plan.
She's got the box, mostly open, and they're getting ready. And the others are, well, there's stuff happening there.
Do I still have... Is it still my turn? Or...
No, I'm just juggling NPCs briefly.
Cool.
Gliriel is taking some shots. Two of her arrows hit him. It's hard to say if they do a lot of damage. But more importantly, as soon as she takes those shots, Gundyr and Alred, you're right there in front of the Ice King, and you can see that his expression turns as soon as he sees Gliriel, and it gets that eager look like he had when Glorfindel was coming that direction.
Oh, no! Elves.
And then
You son of a bitch!
wraiths emerge from the cold. You guys have been with a lot of the royal guard, and they start tangling with the wraiths. You also can see them all around, and potentially there's some near the Ice King himself, that might be there to intercept, or if you're trying things. They, in general, the Imperial Guard doesn't break and flee like you might expect, but they don't still seem to be doing very well against the wraiths. We're back at the top with Gundyr.
Oh God, Glorfindel, what the hell happened, man? We still got to take down this mount, so yeah, I'm gonna try and take this mount down. Because if we can take out the mount, we can grab him so much easier.
You're not wrong.
That's gonna be a 21 for my first hit, and then just nat 20 for my second hit.
Yeah.
Ooh, roll some damage.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
So my-
yeah.
First hit is going to be 16 points of damage, and then my second hit is going to be... Oh, Jesus. 30 points of damage for the critical.
Yeah.
Is Jesus a form of
211.
damage?
Nice.
Never mind. That actually kills it. Yeah, you're... Holy poop.
Yeah.
Wow, really? Holy cow.
Wow.
I mean,
Dang,
you've
Gundyr.
done
did it?
115 points of damage to it combined
team.
already. So, I mean, you critical
Air high
hit
five,
twice.
Gundyr.
Your
Yeah.
your
Go us.
mount is down, and now you're going to stab me.
So this is the traditional, you hit it once, and then with your next swing, you cleave its head right off.
Right.
And it falls to the ground, but as the Nazgul slides off of it with a look of disapproval.
He's gonna
Allred, I forgot to
kick
have you
my
take
ass.
10 points of damage for attacking.
Oh, right,
So
right.
you should do
Right.
that.
I'll take
Gundyr,
it.
you should take your next
Yeah.
10 points for attacking.
I'll take another 10 points. Oh god, that's so much damage.
How you
Kellyan,
doing, buddy?
you're
I'm
next.
doing okay.
And you can see very clearly that despite its mount being destroyed from under it with Gundyr's swings, the Nazgul appears to be mostly ignoring Gundyr and has turned all of its sights on Gliriel, who's not really that far away, even though she's using the arrows because visibility and you guys are pretty
I
tightly
step in front
together.
of her.
So
I
it's
step in
heading
front
that
of her and I
direction.
tell her run. I was like, I step in front of her and I tell her go. He wants you. Run towards that. Run towards that box. I can at least slow him down just a little bit until you get there.
She says in your ear, then I am the distraction.
Yes, Tiger it.
Oh, she's
And I
fucking
go to
back.
shoot him.
She takes one step
Take it.
back and draws her bow.
Oh.
I shoot him.
Give me
All
your
right, tried.
shot.
Duh!
Shoot your shot.
Inspiration. I use inspiration. Hold on. I'm not going to accept that one. Okay. Oh, 19! I'll take that one instead. 19 plus whatever. Higher than 21, so I'm assuming I hit him.
Yes, that hits.
Okay, cool. All right, that is 6, 7, 8 plus fire. So 8 plus 3 points of fire damage.
It does seem to not like the fire, but is still focused. And it's its turn. It's got Gundyr and Allred in front of it, and Kellyan as well between it and Gliriel. It takes some steps that direction until it is very close. It points a finger at Gliriel, and she makes a save.
No.
I mean, I guess what I mean by makes the save is rolls one. We'll see.
Oh.
Okay. You can. There's like a tangible, like, darkness almost that like descends over her. You're right there, Kellyan, so you can kind of see it. Like her eyes tighten and like there's like a. I mean, there's plenty of chill in the air. But she had taken that step back away from you, Kellyan, and then she takes one step closer, and then like suddenly breathes. Okay. Takes a couple of deep breaths as she stares at it. And then it swings at probably Gundyr because he's the one mostly in the way at the moment.
Bring it on.
As he tries to go by. I mean, I think there's going to be some tackling in the near future, so we'll get to that. But you do get stabbed again.
Are opportunity attacks a thing? I don't know 5e.
Yeah, they are.
They
but I
can
don't
be,
think
but
that really counts right now. He's not moving past us, so he's still okay.
Gotcha.
I mean, in theory, he's generally making the more traditional martial move through you. Is the idea
Right.
here. And he still gets his bonus action here to stab Gundyr. So he does not stab Gundyr.
Yes.
Whoa.
Gundyr, are you like trying to grab him or anything? I assume.
Oh yeah, I'm super gonna tackle him. But yeah.
I mean, he got his one, which I guess is what I do. So when he tries to stab you, so I expect that's going to
Yeah.
help Allred. Allred, you're next, right?
Yeah, I think I am. And
You're right there, and he kind of stumbled as he was trying to get by Gundyr or something like that. I'll give you advantage on whatever you try to do. Oh wait, you've already got it.
Is the box kind of close now since I called Dustcart up this way?
I mean, that's the idea. They're preparing it in the
Perfect,
back,
yeah.
getting it relatively near. It's
Then,
about the same distance as Gliriel is.
Then I'm going to try to grapple shove him towards the box, into the box if I can, but at least in that direction.
Oh man.
I'm excited about grappling Nazgul.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. No.
me too.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be.
It does 10 points of cold damage just by standing near it.
Yep. Hey, look at that. I got 10 more points of damage. I took the damage. So, you said I get advantage on this then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Ooh, oh, hey, I rolled an 18. Plus 7 should be a 25.
Yep, that's enough to grapple that there Nazgul. You've done it!
You've done it.
Aren't you feeling good about yourself?
No!
Well, take 15 points of necrotic and give me a shadow save.
Oh God.
I'm gonna use some inspiration on this. I have one
And
of
here we
those. So that's just a wisdom. Got it. 19?
19 is enough. So you only take 1 point of shadow just as you grab it, because that gives you shadow regardless.
Sure. No, that's a great outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So far, so good. As far as grappling Nazgul, it could be worse.
I'll show him the strength of man.
Nestriel,
Is the box fully prepped and ready to go for whatever the
box is
shenanigans are
fully
going to be?
prepped. I assume you're continuing to move it towards the Nazgul.
Yes.
Does Carwell listen to you?
You also have a Glorfindel and
I
another
do.
big white elven horse here.
That I do. I would like to also medicine check Glorfindel, see if my Hands of the Healer will help him at all.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your medicine.
22.
I mean, he does have a stab wound. It's clearly not lethal, and it's clearly not his issue. But you hands of healer it a little bit. He is alive, but unresponsive. Same thing as Willid.
Okay. I leave his horse and him behind.
I mean, he's in the cart. Willid put him in the cart,
Oh.
so
Oh, okay.
not that
Somehow
far
I
behind.
got them there.
I
There's a
mean,
physics issue there, but we did
I
it.
mean, the horse helped a lot.
It was very tall. You just gotta push him off the horse and hope that he lands in the cart.
Okay,
It's totally not prepping the box.
Willid. I feel like I did that in the wrong order, but never. No, that's right.
I think we did this right.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you did right.
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna run over to Allred and grab onto the lich or this thing.
I'm excited about that. You like grab a leg, some dark bearded shadow leg.
I grab onto it and tug, and I shout at it. What did the guy say? Blessings of the Valar and pure heart, something like that.
What did Glorfindel say? You need
You're a
blessings of
scholar.
the valor and a pure heart.
So I'm
So I
going to
shout
assume
blessings of the Valar.
that you know something like you call the name of Elbereth,
Elbereth!
Yeah.
which it doesn't like.
Neat.
I'm gonna mimic Willid here.
So Willid, I'm going to give you half damage because of the power of the Valar that surrounds you this turn. As you grab it, I mean, I was making the assumption you're going to grab it, but so give me an attack roll.
Hup. 24.
Yep.
Do
you
I
totally
get to add
grab
all my
it?
bonuses? This is dexterity based.
Yeah, go right ahead, do dex, all that.
24.
Yeah, you've grabbed it. So take 5 points of cold damage and 8 points of necrotic damage, and you've got a leg.
Is that all one attack? Can I?
That is one attack.
That's
yes.
not that much. It's not all that much damage. I'll take it. That's 5 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've got him.
Got him.
You're ready to trip him up when you get him to the thing. Gliriel's taking a couple of shots.
No ones.
And she hits
All of them
once.
are ones.
with her shots. She seems a little shaken at the moment, by the way, Kelly, and you're right there.
I look at her and I was like, aim true, and I give her a D6. Hopefully that helps.
Will a D6 help her second attack? No. It was
No.
a 1.
She can keep it for something else then.
Well, I mean, she tried to use it. That's what she does.
Oh.
I mean, you only get to try and use it once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, a 6 would have helped. So.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, now it's Wraith's turn. They've now decided they don't like you because of the stuff you're doing. In particular, they seem to want to
We don't
go
like
after
stuff.
Kellyan. So Wraith appears from nowhere in the darkness, Kellyan, and
Okay.
does a 21 hit. Is that right?
Yes,
Nope.
it does.
19. Sorry.
19
That
still hits.
Still hits. You
Yeah.
take 8 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. I have to do math. Okay, got it.
Dang
Oh,
math.
that's right. There's also one jumping upon Allred.
No.
It does not hit you, I imagine. 11 will not hit Allred.
No, it does not.
But you can feel the darkness of the wraiths near you. That the rest of the wraiths are luckily being mostly kept busy by dying royal guards.
Oh.
If that makes you feel better or worse. But let's
Depends on who you
Better.
ask.
let's get to this next scene here, right? This is we try and lever the Nazgul into the box. Gundyr.
Yeah, that's what I absolutely do. I charge over to help Allred out, and we try and toss this sucker into the box.
Okay. You give me a roll.
All right, I'll make my strength check. Hopefully, we can just end this right now. That's going to be a 25.
Okay, that will hit. You grab him and you pick. I mean, it isn't necessarily like heavy, right? Like,
Right.
I mean, obviously you're taking your 10 points of cold and your 15 points of necrotic,
Oh
as
yeah,
you do that.
that's gonna hurt. But you know,
and you pick the thing up off the ground, and unlike Allred, who has his like immune from fear thing, you don't have that. So you get your
Right.
shadow point. By the way, Willett, I forgot to give you a shadow point too. You get one.
Mm.
And give me a wisdom save as you like lift this thing off the ground and aim it for the.
I'm gonna use inspiration on that one. Oh, never mind. Well, it's better than that. That would be a 7. It was better than the nat 1. So
Okay, so you've looked deep into the eye and you can feel the darkness of the Nazgul, and the shadow creeps into your marrow of your bones as you grab it and lean that direction. Kelly, and you're right there because he said it's been moving
Oh.
towards you, right?
Okay.
Because it's been trying to get to Gliriel, and Gundyr's been grabbing it, and the horse has been moving forward, so towards where that is. So you see that as Gundyr freezes. Even though he's got the Nazgul off the ground, right? So like it'd be really easy to like roll Gundyr and the Nazgul into the box.
Do it.
That's what I'm gonna do.
do it.
Oh boy.
The Nazgul having its action at about the same time, so I'm excited about that. And you do your give me a roll. It's not actually that hard, right? We're talking just a strength attack roll. Is that a 20?
This is so
I mean, that's the reaction of a 20, right? So as doing that,
yeah, it is.
you do your thing. This is actually going to be good for Gundyr, right? But Gundyr, you're right there, and you can see that, like its crown of ice, it flashes with an anger, and Gundyr can even hear it. Allred's got a grip too, right? So you can you like hear this seething voice in your head, you all die and freeze kind of thing, as like this uh, wave of cold just emanates from where you are, leaving royal guards frozen in their tracks, and player characters making saves against deck saves against like some sort of frost wave to try and like duck under things and avoid it.
16.
Ooh, I got a 17.
You guys are gonna, yeah.
I
Okay.
got a 10.
20.
I shout as like I'm trying to help like get this guy in the box before like this wave goes. I'm like, you shall not fear my friends, and then plus D6, my last one to Gundyr for that roll that he's making.
Okay.
So hopefully that helps.
14.
Okay, so the target number was 18. Sorry, Allred.
Oh.
Well,
Failure
gosh.
involves 30 points of
Somebody give me a
cold and
D6.
30 points of necrotic
Wait, say how
to
much?
everybody in range.
How much?
I'm
30 cold, 30
points of
necrotic.
cold and 30 necrotic. I'm down.
Oh, so
Am I?
I
Unless you
follow.
made the save.
I'm going to use my reaction on that.
Yeah,
I think
you
I
should
have
do
the
that.
ability. I'm going to have that damage.
Yes.
That's
And
nice
that's
knowing
if
you
we
guys.
made the save.
No, that's if you failed to save. It's
So if
half
we
if
made
you
the save,
made that.
So it's 15 and 15, so 30. I take. Okay.
How am I in range of that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So is Gliriel for that matter. I should roll for it.
So
Ow.
how far into the negatives can you go?
Yeah,
A
that's a
long
good
ways.
question. Okay,
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
basically.
'Cause,
Yeah, we're a long way.
I am dead by -5.
Oh, that's? I'm pretty sure Gundyr's at like negative 59.
Well, I mean, something like that. But you have to basically take your entire HP in damage to die.
Oh, I see.
Which, by the way, is the exact same rule Rollmaster had. What do you got?
Right.
Like, anyways, but there we
Wait.
are. Glad to see
okay.
those Rollmaster influences on 5th edition. The
Yeah.
but yes, you have to go negative your actual
No,
hit
wait.
points, and you
I
have to
am
do it in
still
one hit.
alive. Oh my goodness,
because
math.
otherwise you're then considered to be at 0, regardless.
Right.
All right. Yes, I am at 0 then.
So, who's still up?
I am actually still up.
Ooh, Nestriel,
It's
you're
math.
still up. You must
I
have made your
know.
save, huh?
I am.
I did. I am very hurt.
So it's just Allred that went down.
No, I went down as
Oh,
well.
Gundyr's down
So.
too. Okay.
I was like, I don't think it's that much tougher than I am. Dang.
Okay, now
Yeah,
Kellyanne,
no, we both went.
you rolled a 20 though to get him in there,
Yes.
which means that you have a chance to. I mean, so they're both in the box, but you've got a good grip on Gundyr.
Yeah.
To
I
help
yank
him
him out.
Because Nestriel, it's now your turn, and you like got the lid of the box there.
I'm gonna close
As-
that shit.
And the question is, do you wait for Gundyr to get out, or for Kellyanne to get Gundyr out, or not?
No, why would I save my friends? That'd be silly. Yes, I wait for Hellion to pull Gundyr out.
Ah, come on.
No, you don't get a die yet. We have shit to do.
I wanted to be in the box.
This is just a pit stop, okay?
Never made a death save before.
You can die against the Witch King.
But I wanted to annoy this guy in the box. And
Okay.
Be like, hey,
Willard,
What
since
do you
you're right there as well, I will note that even though this is supposed to keep spirits in a box, and you think that's probably accurate, it might not be great if he's got a sword in there with him.
We need the sword and the Morgul blade if you can find
I got the sword.
So why don't you give me a grab sword roll? Nestriel's going to give me closed box roll, and
Oh boy.
Kellyanne
use
will
inspiration.
get Gundyr out roll for me.
Yeah, all right.
Gliriel went down as well, by the way. Side note.
All right.
Oh, fuck.
Kellyanne, I need you to not fail. This one.
Inspiration.
I feel the lid close and sword rolls are the important ones here. No offense, Gundyr.
All right,
That-
another
that's fair.
inspiration.
That's fair.
Set an acrobatics check for me.
That's done. Okay.
It can be Dex because you're gonna try and like get it out of his hands. So yeah, acrobatics. Go with it.
Acrobatics.
Make you
Yes.
proficient in it.
Yeah. That's a 23.
Okay.
Do I add my strength to it, or what?
Yes, strength would be a good thing to add there.
Mhm.
Great.
Okay. I got a 7 for him, Willard, to hold on to the sword, so it's all yours.
Woo!
I mean, technically it's a 9, I guess, when I add, but yeah, that's enough. Nestriel, blocks.
Assuming that is strength and not dexterity, that is a 17 to close the lid.
Okay. It's not the fastest close we've ever had, but it's over a 15, so
Yes.
you drop that box. I mean, Kelly did a really good job with that critical, setting things up to make this a lot easier than you planned.
Clutch.
Was a well-timed
Clutch.
critical.
Kellyanne, what was your roll?
That is a 16.
Okay, so you're like rolling Gundyr out as he's like frozen and deathly.
He's very
and
deadly.
You like the box shuts on his arm, and then you like pull the arm out, and then the box closes on some the very fingertips of the wraith. And then Nestriel and Willett and Kellyanne kind of like jump on the box.
Yep. Can nail it down.
When that happens, though, the wraiths that are around you disappear, kind of into the ground, relatively silently. The snow stops falling, although it is still dark out. And we're not going to roll for this, but we'll just because I've seen all the numbers. There's a huge battle that's going on, and certainly it looks like without the wraiths, the army of Angmar is not going to be able to breach the walls of Fornost by any means. And other than a significant portion of the royal guard being frozen, the rest of the army is in pretty good shape. As we stare at this scene, which we will end upon because it is that time, there's one last thing. Willard, you have a sword.
Yep. Could make a good kebab skewer.
What do you do with it as you grab it? It is cold to the touch.
Can we destroy it?
As you say that, you hear an elven voice behind you say, "No. I think that sword is mine." And you turn around behind you and you see Wethril, the dark elf, standing behind you.
What? What?
And that's it for session today,
What?
folks. No journey.
I'd be more shocked, except Allred and I are at 0 HP.
You may be in shock.
Okay.
It's okay. My subsequent turns would be getting you not at 0. So
Yeah, we got you.
Because
Yeah, we'll address
we're
that in our
super
next
tight.
session. We are taking a couple weeks off. This is kind of the end of part one of our adventures in Middle Earth. The new sun is rising. Maybe we don't know anything about that yet. But anyways, thanks everyone for being here. And it is late, so I'm not going to go around and do last call for things, but that'll be part of our remembering what happened next time about the best things that happened this session around. Thank you for everyone for sticking with us, and have a great day. And welcome to the Nazgul in a box on the other session for all the stuff that happened today. Woohoo!
Nazgul.
Nazgul in a
Woo.
box. We don't have a bard. That's our song.
Nazgul in a box. Nazgul in a box.
Okay,
Call
goodbye.
1-800 box.